Well, hello, you fine, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me on another exposure of LIA's lies, hypocrisies, and all around just pure stupidity and what the fuckery. I am joined by my two favorite people, Mr. DJ Darkland, co-host of the DNN Cinema Vault, host and owner of the Last Chance Review, and his own personal channel, DJ Dark Lantern.
Ahoy, sir. How are you doing?
I am good. And joined as always when we go after the fuckery that is LIA, my good friend, the sweetest little koala from the land down under, and the meanest drop bear when you piss him off, Damian Paxton.
What up, my bitches?
Oh, it's good. We're all good because we got fuckery to deal with. So,
I'm excited.
you remember the last video or last stream we did with him, and he kept talking about how the PBA has their own news, like they have their own podcast, their own radio shows, their own shit. And we called him out like, hey,
Hey, Ford.
hey, Friday Roundup. We called him out because he's got his own shows, right? He's got his own channels. Well, what if I told you that there is a news station on YouTube that is anti-cop and has had him on there several times?
Tossing his salad.
Blazing him as if he is Hassan's shocking Kaya.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like Tom Clancy of Twitch is kissing his ass like Hassan's never been kissed. Yeah, I hate Hassan Piker. I make it with known. I don't like him. He's a fuckwit.
Yeah, he's a complete asshole.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can go on forever about that worthless piece of crap.
So, the Real News Network, and that's what they call themselves, put out a video on the 31st. And I want you to see this title. Long Island Audits Debates. Is he a cop watcher, a journalist, or a gadfly?
I got some words about him, but I guess we can go with what they're asking.
Yes. But here's something else.
Jesus Christ.
We were looking at this backstage.
Yes.
There's Sean Paul Reyes. That is not Sean Paul Reyes.
Nope.
They intentionally made him look more handsome.
They made him skinnier.
They
Made
literally,
it. Oh, it's so gross.
I will point it out. If you look, they've darkened his skin at some points, but lightened it at others. They've darkened the beard. They've given him hair.
Definitely straightened up his face, making him like a stronger jawline.
Yeah. If you look right here, that is like bending in. And then they've got the same looking cops that you can tell are AI. I mean, that one's got derp face and looks just like this one, but this one looks like it's like a non-threatening version of Johnny Sins.
Yeah, I agree. It's just
definitely chemo
gross.
Johnny Sins.
Okay, this is not Sean Paul Reyes. This is a look maxed version of Sean Paul Reyes.
This is what he wish he looked like instead of the amoebus bag of garbage that he is.
You can even tell the skin tones don't match.
Yep.
This is like that, that Chad meme.
Yeah.
It's like that they crossed that with
him.
They crossed, basically used AI, take his photo, that photo, and boom, mix it together.
So we're going to get into this now. And, well, record, please. Accountability report.
My name is Taya Graham, and welcome to the Police Accountability Report live stream, the Great American Cop Watcher Debate Edition. Tonight, we're going to be exploring the controversy surrounding a popular cop watcher, Long Island Audit. Specifically, his encounter with Suffolk County Police Union officials that was the subject of our last episode. Now, a confrontation that started with Sean showing up at Union headquarters to ask questions and then escalated when Union officials stormed out of the building and put Sean Paul into handcuffs. Let's just watch a few seconds of the encounter to set the scene.
Did you guys actually hear that?
Yes.
Go back about 2 seconds.
My bad.
To handcuffs.
Look
Let's
at
just
the
watch
TV. Look at the line on the TV.
He fought to change policing. It started a movement. If she is talking about fucking him, I mean, let's be honest. Her mic thing right here says road. That's what she's fucking trying to do to him.
Oh, yeah. Like, this entire thing, I've watched it. It's a fucking glazing piece. They literally are kissing his ass. I called out Two Cops, One Donut, and I called him out by, because I felt they were kissing Sean's ass. And
yep.
We're actually going to work out a time for me to appear on their show. I just got some shit going on right now. And I told them, look, let me settle up my schedule. I would love to come on and explain my opinion. And I apologized to them. I said, look, I don't have anything personally against the two cops who run the channel. I just said, this is how I felt. And they responded back to me. They were, they could have said, go fuck yourself. They could have called me out. No, they were cool. I got no beef with them. Hey, Hank.
Hank, how the fuck are you?
Mark,
this is just straight glazing.
An insult. That's an insult to Alex Jones. Equating Sean to Alex Jones is an insult to Alex Jones.
Hey, Maddie.
True.
Seconds of
Maddie.
I'm leaving. I immediately began to leave. Lucibella, would you like to come on? I am leaving. Would you like to come on the channel? I'm leaving. I am leaving. You see me leave me? I am leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Lucibella, you go on talk. You go. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Immediately began to leave. That's how the law works. Yes, I'm leaving.
Get off the
I am leaving. I am getting off the property.
Yep, I noticed that.
I am leaving. I am leaving.
I'm going to place you under arrest.
Do what you need to do.
I'm identifying myself as a police officer.
So do what you need to do. I am leaving.
You need to leave.
I am leaving. You're such a tough guy. Do it then. Do it. Do it. I'm leaving.
Okay. But
you literally asked them to arrest him.
Not resisting. I'm not resisting. Nope.
That's on him.
You see me leaving?
Okay, now this video and our discussion with Sean set off a heated debate, and it was so, let's say, lively that Stephen and I decided that we needed to do a show to respond to your comments and discuss their implications. And luckily, we were also able to get the man himself, Long Island Audits, to participate. But before we get to Sean, I want to give you a sense of the format of the show and how we're going to handle the debate. And remember, this is very...
Okay.
Oh, God.
They say this is a debate.
No, the fuck it's not.
A debate would be this. I would have Damien be our neutral party.
Mm-hmm.
And we would argue, me and DJ would argue something like pineapple can belong on pizza.
Are you doing for the affirmative or the negative on it?
I'm for the affirmative.
And you want me to take the negative on it?
I'm just saying in general.
Oh, damn it, because I really like pineapple on pizza as well.
I know, but the point
don't.
is, we would discuss our points. We would have talking points. We would
Correct.
argue. Now, this is just.
I'm not sure if it was
certain comments.
real. I'm not sure if it was real or not, but one person ordered pineapple pizza from an Italian restaurant. They literally sent them a pizza and opened up, and they'd spelt "fuck you" in pineapple on the pizza.
If they did, I would like. They're getting at my business. They insulted me with food. I'm cool with it.
Fuck yes. Oh, Brian, I can play devil's advocate. I'm very good at that.
Very live, so please bear with
It's
any
also
technical
pinball game.
difficulties we might have. And I'm going to do my best to put on any comments from the live chat on the screen as we go through. So over the past week, Stephen and I have been reviewing hundreds of comments on our YouTube channel and on Facebook and selecting what we hope is a representative sample of your thoughts. Our goal was to select what best represents the framework of the discussion about Sean Paul's work. And we're going to show them on the screen. I'll read them, and then Sean, myself, and Stephen will discuss. But a big part of that is going to be what you think. And I mean, the Police Accountability Report community, in my personal opinion, is one of the most thoughtful and insightful collection of rebels. And yes, rebels, I think is the right word, on YouTube. Believe me, we feed off your ideas and your insights. And tonight, we need you to chime in. So,
Okay,
Stephen, first off, welcome to.
I'm going to call bullshit on this one. So she literally can't do a debate at this point because she's not being a neutral party. She says she finds them awesome. She likes the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. That means she's not going to stay neutral. By her putting that stance forward, this whole debate, quote unquote, thing is out the fucking window. She has no clue what she's talking about. Also, she looks like she got into Brand X from that the Joker put out in Batman 89.
Ooh, yes. Just sent you a private message on Discord, NCR.
All right, let me check it out.
But, like, am I wrong by stating that? Because she's literally showing her card saying, no, this is basically us going to glaze LIA. It's not going to be an actual debate. And they're probably only going to put up, like, fairly innocuous messages from people and not people actually, like, super challenging him.
She's got the cheek lines for it.
God, look at both of these people.
But no, this is, like you said, it's not a debate anymore. It's a glazing. It's what it is. It's just straight glazing at this point. She's admitted they've selected the questions. Fine. I'm fine with that. From the rebels of this channel.
Just biased already. Just biased.
Great indoors.
Thank you so much. Oh, God, it's so nice to be inside. Although, yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back in the studio. You didn't even have to coax me. I came in voluntarily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we gave you some coffee and left out some candy, and you just followed them in.
Free coffee. Max said it might come out of my paycheck, but that's okay. It's good coffee.
But look, before we introduce Sean, why don't you explain a little bit why you felt like this debate needed to continue? What struck you as the critical question at the heart of it?
So the critical question for me is the question of dissent, right? Democracy
looks like a melted Cabbage Patch Kid.
Free, fair dissent. And to me, journalism is the epitome of dissent because it's saying, the oligarchy truth is not the final truth. We can challenge that truth with a different reality. And when I see Sean entering the space of power and being challenged, just to ask a question, I think we have to ask critical questions about, how do we preserve dissent and what this is really about. I mean, why would they just storm out at him and not allow him to ask a question? And to me, one of the defining points of this is, we cover inequality in another show called The Inequality Watch. And
I think I know who he looks like.
It becomes more and more concentrated in this country. I think the fight over the truth is going to become more important, and therefore dissent is more important. And to me, journalism is quintessential dissent. It's organized, constructive, and thoughtful dissent. And that's what Sean was doing. I mean, he was just showing up to ask a question. That is our only army. He wasn't ambushing them or doing anything. He just had a question. He did have a big truck. Yeah, I'll admit that was kind of cool. We'll talk about that. But it was just dissent. And to me, that's what this is about. I mean, if they could take away our ability to show up at a building and ask a simple question about what they are doing with taxpayer money, then we're done. Yeah. Then the oligarchs have won. So that's why I thought it'd be interesting. And I want to debate the people who somehow think that, journalists are
looks
a pain in the ass. So hopefully we are.
Bernie Sanders.
Anyway, that's my thought.
Well, technically, journalists are supposed to be a pain. We're supposed to afflict the comfortable and comfort the afflicted.
Exactly.
And honestly, what you mentioned is something that is a classic part of journalism, which is to follow the money. And I believe that's what Sean Paul was trying to do. He's just trying to find out where taxpayer money was going. But before I bring him in, let me just first shout out some of the people that I see in the chat. I'm going to look down here. I see Noli D. Thank you so much for being here. Lacey R. Thank you so much for being here. I think Joe Cool on there. I'm not sure if I should shout him out.
Yeah, she was just naming off different frauditors that watch them on here.
Yeah.
Like Eric Brandt, Joe Cool's there. Some of their diehard fans.
Should I shout out the name?
Yeah.
Eric Brandt.
Wow.
Eric Brandt, the man is in the chat. Debate. So we definitely have some cop watchers here who journalism. Oh, and let me also say hi, Katie Kane. It's really great to see you again.
I don't know if it was Katie Kane or Katie Kibben who she was actually trying to say, but either way.
Literally, he's tonguing Sean's balls while she works the shaft. Is all this
okay,
is.
And you too, Prairie 745. All right, Jean Paul Reyes. Jean Paul, thank you so much.
Okay, now compared to the thumbnail and this.
Fuck off. That looks like Dobby the Elf from if he ingested the Batman, the Joker X. Look at the ears on that son of a bitch.
He looks like a fucking Fraggle Rock.
It looks like a deflated basketball.
Hold on, guys. No, he got out.
Yeah, he got out.
He got out during like the COVID release.
That fucking they're using fucking Big Terry's glaze to glaze this motherfucker.
No. That's a little bit too far on that one because Big Terry's all natural.
Oh, that's
this
true.
seems artificial.
And look at the stupid fucking painting behind him.
I mean, I'm all for velvet paintings. I'm all for that.
Looks like J-Lo about to kiss a tiger.
But no, look at it. His face is fatter.
Yep.
The skin tones are lighter than what they used. His ears are more pointier.
His beard is shit.
His ears put King Charles to shame.
He looks like he has the mumps, right, Brian?
Hey guys, I just stuck my face into a beehive so I can be photo ready.
That's it. If it, one of Markiplier's Try Not to Laugh videos, he had a thumbnail where his cheeks were all red because he just had his tonsils out. His cheeks were all puffy and red. That's what he bloody looks like.
But she did hit on a point that is 100% correct, though. He's, chasing the money. Sean is chasing the money. It's all about him, clicks and views, and him getting money. She's right.
Oh, they talk about that in this.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. Thank you.
We are so happy to have you. So now first, before we completely dive in, there's been an update with the arrest that occurred during your encounter with the leadership of the Suffolk County Police Union. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So the update is that the criminal charge of trespassing in the third degree that I was originally arrested for has been dismissed by the district attorney's office. That charge required that the property be enclosed in a manner to exclude intruders, i.e. an offense. It wasn't the case for that property, so they dropped it down to a trespassing charge, which is a violation, not a crime, which requires unlawfully entering or remaining on a person's property, on private property. So, that's where it stands. And I mean, we can get into more detail on the order of protection and ex parte hearings, but I'll defer to you.
I mean, I don't really understand. You were exercising First Amendment as a journalist. You have some privilege to be able to go to places and knock on doors where you're not wanted, right?
Right. Yeah. So generally, there's a Supreme Court case. I don't really remember what it was, what it is right now, but there is a Supreme Court case that even with a no trespassing sign, the public and people say, well, you don't get extra rights because you're a journalist or a YouTuber or whatever they want to call me, and that's the topic of today's discussion. But generally, anyone has a license or privilege to approach someone's door and do it.
YouTuber from upstate.
Yep.
Yeah,
he is.
They talk about that too, but I gotta call him out on this. Brantberg v. Hayes.
Yep.
States, just because you're a journalist does not mean you are not subject to criminal or civil prosecution.
Yeah, it's something he forgets that is a thing. He's like, he even said, like, if there's a no trespassing sign, I could basically still go up there and knock on the door. Dude, if there's no trespassing sign on there, no, you fucking can't. You have no business being there.
Why were you so concerned then when you went to Fahey's house?
Yep.
Why were you so concerned to try to find a no trespassing sign? Because you know they would have fucking had you arrested.
100%. He deserved to be fucking arrested for that.
Like, if you're saying no matter what, you can go to somebody's house, even if there's a no trespassing sign, you've defeated your own argument for when the cops showed up for the noise complaint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that shuts you down. So your complaint against, the police for noise complaint, gone. Your trespassing charges for Fahey should be gone, but they're not.
I agree with you, Ruben. That broom does bug the hell out of me.
It looks like you went to his Tia's house.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, he went to his Tia's house and she's like, "Oh, mijo, you can sit here. You can sit here, mijo. You can do your little camera thing with your friends right here, mijo. Behave or I get the chancla."
Oh, not the fucking chancla.
What's that photo above the? What's the photo above the key?
A flower.
Really?
Like a magnolia.
Yeah.
Looks like a dog's ass.
Knock and talk. You can knock and ask questions the same way a law enforcement officer can knock on your door, same way the solar panel, Girl Scout cookies, whatever. People knock on people's doors and ask questions. Once that privilege, that license or privilege has been revoked by the private property owner, then you must
people like seeing the Girl Scouts coming up with those fucking cookies.
This is what you were doing. But anyway, not to digress. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. And let me just give a shout out to HBO Matt. HBO Matt, great to see you there. Another cop watcher.
Wow.
1A and 2A auditor who's in the chat as well right now. We got to shout out all those people out there doing that work. Okay. So Sean, now here's the tough part. We're going to start going through the comments. Now, we've tried to pick a representative sample. And though I will say, in general, more people support you than not. Some of
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm going to put a live poll on this.
Yes. Nikki, to answer the question, the filter he is using, it's called Crisco.
So
I don't know if y'all get that, but that's fairly damn good reference right there for him being a fat ass. Mike, holy shit. Yeah, no, seriously though, I'm telling you, the dude on the far right literally looks like if Larry King banged Timmy from South Park. And she looks like Carla off of Scrubs if Carla got hit in the face with a bunch of 2x4s.
Okay.
No, not 2x4s. A shovel like in Little Nicky.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Okay. So oh shit, I ended the poll. I'm gonna have to redo it. Give me a second. I did not mean to do that.
You're really good at working that poll, aren't you, sir?
Oh, behave. So
somebody come get him. He's dancing like a stripper.
I'm dancing for money. Any old song will do.
You're just a private dancer, huh?
Better
and
than
he
Chili.
works hard for the money.
Poll is confusing. That's pretty funny. Let's see here. Like this stupid glazing that they're doing of this asshole.
This is for their questions they're going to ask them. Is this going to be fair by them or biased? And this is going to be on. This poll's going to go until the end of the stream.
Oh,
I will periodically come in and check on it. But if you want to change your vote, you can change your vote. If you want, I want your guys' opinion. I want your feedback on this. Because, yeah, I will make it known. I do not like LIA. I think he's a grifter. I think he is a fraud. I think he is just doing this for the money. It's my personal opinion. I'm honest about that. I'm upfront about that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
is already saying it's rigged.
Are pretty adamant that your work doesn't benefit the community. So let's start there. Okay, let me hit you with comment number 1. Okay. A clout-chasing provocateur whose approach is ambush journalism. Real journalists make an appointment. People at work don't just drop everything because this YouTuber shows up. Wow. Okay. So, Sean, let me start with you. What do you think? Is this a valid critique?
I don't think it's. I think anybody's opinion is valid. Anybody can have their own opinion on what I do and how I go about it. So I'm not going to say that their opinion is invalid, but I would push back on their opinion that it's ambush journalism. I mean, I'm asking questions. I don't have to make an appointment. I can just walk up and ask the question. You think and really to the person who made that comment, do you think if I would have called and made an appointment, they would have let me in and give me an appointment?
Yes. I said it would. You dumb bitch.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
It just seems unlikely.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Just so everybody knows, if you put yes, it means yes, they will be fair. No, it means they're going to be biased. So if there was any confusion for the poll, I'm sorry. But even she can't believe the bullshit. How can
I
you
half
say?
expected to stare into the camera and go, blah, 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 laughs at joke. Ha, ha, ha.
See that dude, I'll say this about those two. Nick Shirley and James O'Keefe. They actually do investigate shit. They actually do actual research and try to actually do an actual news story, unlike LIA.
It looks like two parents FaceTiming their son.
Honey, did you have
Tell
a
them
good
how
day
they're
at
disappointed in
school?
Son, do you know what we found underneath your bed?
That playgirl isn't mine. I was just holding it for a friend.
Why are the pages sticky?
Chewing gum? Yeah, I was chewing gum and I just put it in the pages.
Son, when we walked by your room the other night, you were saying something about it puts the lotion on the skin. Do we need to have a talk? Is everything okay?
And why did I hear a chicken?
Oh, DJ, would you please?
I got you. SRVM for the $5. Can we launch LIA and other frauditors off the planet? Let them audit cheese on the moon or mayor, see if they respect our constitutional rights. No shit.
Yeah, let's put all of them on a spaceship, send them to Pluto, and rename Pluto Frauditerville.
No. I got a better idea. Way we can make some money.
Oh, shit.
We get a deserted island. You follow me so far?
I got you.
We recreate one of the best Japanese novels, animes, and movies. Battle Royale.
Ooh. Have our own little frauditer Hunger Games? Fuck yes.
Yes. God, yes.
There can be only one.
Ooh,
someone needs to recreate that. Recreate that with AI. Just have like LIA with a little bow and arrow walking through the forest, and just Chili comes down and just bashes
do
him
not
over
give me
there.
any ideas.
Yeah, like Damien, you're giving us way too many fucking ideas that we will run with. You know better than that.
Damien, you've seen some of the AI art I can make. You saw the video I made.
The Frauditer horror movie.
I'm already working on a script.
That's already a fucking horror movie as general just watching all this shit.
More likely than
it's
not.
just,
They
I
wouldn't
know
just,
my
hey,
rights.
yeah, well, pence you in for 230, right? Especially with the questions that I'm asking. I'm not asking, how does it feel to save lives every day and put your life on the line, Mr. PBA president? I'm asking why hundreds of millions of dollars of Suffolk County taxpayer money, hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 15 to 20 years have been put in the pockets of other people who have had their rights violated. That's my tax dollars. I'm a lifelong resident of Suffolk County. I've been investigating the police union and their power structure, and it comes from their donations to the legislators, to the county executive. There is more to the story than just showing up with my billboard truck. And again,
keeps changing on
I
how
will
much
say
money
that,
it is.
most journalists don't have a billboard truck. I do. And if you want to paint me out as a it's advocacy journalism, whatever word you want to put in front of journalism, it's still objectively journalism, opinionated journalism, advocacy journalism. It's still journalism. Journalism is asking questions,
Nikki,
doing
he's basically
investigations,
lying to himself to
disseminating that of matters of public interest to the public.
He's doing
Maybe it doesn't interest you, but it interests me. And it interests a lot of people out there, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people across my social media platforms. So if you don't like the topic, you can tune into your favorite journalist that you want. I highly recommend the Police Accountability Report here. But,
well, thank you.
But at the end of the day, ambush, whatever adjective you want to describe how I operate, it still doesn't make what happened to me any less unlawful and any less a violation of my First Amendment.
You dumb bitch.
Stephen, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't like the word ambush because I don't think asking a question, ambush has like militaristic overtones. But if we had to make an appointment with every person that we wanted to ask a question that they didn't want to answer.
I just gifted out 5 memberships.
They went to Nikki Red 5584, Pariah of YouTube, Mike Carlin 3320, Sue Fennell 165, and Crypto Crackhead 527. Welcome to NCR News Network.
You are now all local reporters for the company.
Congratulations, all.
You guys are independent journalists.
Yeah, you're all independent journalists. Yeah, no shit.
Pariah, you're in trouble now. I'm green.
Yes, DJ.
So what he was just saying, he was like, journalism this, journalism that. He's basically saying, to himself, the fans, and these 2 chuckle fucks that are listening to him on how he does what he does and how he does it in his brain, that he's actually doing the right thing, that he's an actual journalist and everything he does is straight on board and he's never wrong. It's how he compartmentalizes it in his head that he's not a complete another fucking douchebag.
Oh, it's beyond that. I mean, if you honestly look at it and think about it,
he's genuinely not a journalist. A journalist actually airs a story or prints a story. All he does is shove a camera in people's faces and demand questions. Any idiot can do that. It doesn't make you a journalist.
No, it just makes you an asshole with a cell phone.
Exactly.
Like, I consider NCR way more of a fucking journalist than LIA ever is, because you literally break down what's going on and you tell the truth. You set it out there. He's just like, I have my camera and I'm always right. Care to challenge me? That's what it is.
I particularly loved your documentary on how goth girls have taken over the world.
And
yes. That took me a lot of research.
And the undercover, wow, you look good in a dress.
I mean, I'm committed to the bit.
You better be, damn it.
Nikki Red, I know I need to get some more emojis in there, but members do get access to the broken share emoji, the blue line flag to piss off all the auditors, and the Ohio zebra.
Broken share
that is
emoji.
Ohio zebra because we had a story when me and Anthony Caruso were first doing the Shit Town Florida Man podcast, before we were doing it as the podcast, we were doing it on Discord. And one of the things I found was a story out of Ohio of a zebra biting off a man's arm.
Damn.
And the sheriff's deputies had to euthanize the zebra. So Ohio zebra is based off of that.
Damn.
But you get
wouldn't
to be
have
the asshole that walks around and says you got your arm bitten off by a zebra. That's a great bar story.
It was the owner of the zebra, though.
Jesus.
Like, it almost took the whole thing off. It was like hanging on there.
How'd
So
you lose
I
your
affectionally
arm?
named that Buckeye the Ohio zebra.
Now,
How'd you lose your
we
arm?
cover Capitol Hill, right?
Never
Reporters
buy a
roam
zebra.
all around confronting people who don't want to answer questions. The entire process is about people showing up when you don't expect them. That's the whole way it works. There's no journalism without the so-called ambush, and so I don't like that term because that's not what you were doing. You were asking a question which is about as passive as you can get. But yeah,
please.
like so that's just BS because almost our entire work
If I pop out
centers
of
on the fact that
nowhere
we can
and
just
shove a
walk up to
camera in
someone
your
and
face
put a
and
mic in their
start
face. We
demanding
can't do that.
questions,
We can't do what
that's
our
an
jobs.
ambush.
You know, Stephen,
Yeah.
I really do have to agree with you on that. I mean, we show up to all sorts of places without an appointment. And I have
Oh,
to
my
say,
God.
on occasion, when I have asked for an appointment, there was a particular time in Trenton, New Jersey, where I made an appointment with their press information officer, told her I was going to be
That's
there.
because you would be
and
shot
she
in
ghosted
Trenton,
me.
New Jersey,
Yeah.
because
And
it's
I
run
made
by the fucking mob.
just a little TikTok about the fact that I had made the effort to travel there. You confirmed everything with her. She wasn't there. And perhaps she should have been at her desk and she wasn't. But I can tell you within 8 hours, my entire TikTok account was banned and taken down.
Yeah,
Or just
questions are not
posting.
ambush.
So-
Questions
so
are
Just
yeah.
even so, it can be difficult for a
please.
traditional journalist to
What
get
the
an appointment.
fuck
And
ever.
even just reporting on the fact I didn't get the appointment got my TikTok account banned, which I
Right.
think was a little mean, to be perfectly
agree.
frank. But before I go on to the next criticism, I want to shout out Ophelia Moonrose. I thought you had a great comment there. Big G audits, good making case precedent in your state. That's awesome. So one of the criticisms that
he
we've seen
made
of
case
auditors like
precedent
Sean
in the
is that
wrong
they're
way
all
that he
after
didn't
clicks and
want.
views. But I thought this was an interesting take on that critique. So let's put up comment number 2. Okay. So Garrick, and also I apologize if I mispronounce names. Please give me some grace there. I'll do
Diddleton?
my best.
How can you not
Diddleton
read, bitch?
says, clicks and views, spreading awareness, and capturing focus for issues you want the public to see is exactly the point of journalism. Sean uses outrageous reality to catch attention, and the New York Post uses lies and misinformation. Now,
Okay. Now, I
Uh-huh.
covered this video. I covered this segment they put out there.
Yes, you did.
And here's the crazy part. Looking at that comment, and then what we're about to see, you cannot say with a straight face that this was not planned by them. They did not cherry pick. They did not just come up with shit. They are literally being as biased as they can be. Because watch this answer from them.
oh, Sean Paul, I think you said something quite similar, right? I mean, and Stephen, can a journalism org survive without clicks? I mean,
No.
if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did the tree fall? I mean, if no one sees your journalism, does it even?
So basically, this is we're exposing LIA's hypocrisy. In the last live stream we did on him,
Yep.
he talked about how the PBA president, they have this radio station, they have their own talk shows, they go on all these different platforms, they have their podcasts, but yet he has his own platforms. He has a YouTube, he has Facebook, he has TikTok, Instagram, he has Twitter, probably has a Discord, all of these things. He has other friends in the community that he can go to and go on their channels. but says
Yep.
the PBA are, propagandizing cops. He goes on this news station, and I say that with air quotes, called the Real News Network, to talk about police accountability and how the cops are mistreating him and trying to silence him and violating his rights. He has been on there more times than any other frauditor.
It's true. Like, they literally just love blowing him. SD Suman for $4.99.
Pause. It looks like he's getting his lips ready.
Oh my
Not
God.
wrong. It is biased. They're kissing up to LIA, treating him like he's some kind of saint. Yeah, you're 100% correct. They are really just glazing his balls at this point.
I'm going to appear. Oh, that is so fucking perfect.
The real fake news.
But no, I'm gonna go on Two Cops and One Donut, and I'm wanting them. If I say something and they can correct me on it, I want them to call me out on it. I don't want my ass kissed. If I wanted that, I could just sit in my own echo chamber and do that. I can sit in a private voice chat and just, I'm awesome. I'm great. I'm handsome. I'm better looking than 1990s era Antonio Banderas. Fucking ain't true.
Oof.
It's not true. I don't look that good. I wish I did.
Yeah, homie, I can't back you up on that one. We're friends, but I can't let you tell that lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do that, but I would rather be the truth. I would rather have actual discussion. This is just ass kissery.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Damien, he looks like he's getting ready to give him the glaze. Or receive the glaze.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, he's getting ready for it. He's got the glasses on and everything.
Yeah, I mean, my response to that is obviously all journalists want clicks and views. All media outlets want clicks and views. And I can give you just a recent story. CNN ran a story on First Amendment auditors just recently.
Here we go.
And I'm actually going to do a video of this on my channel. They reached out to me, and their question was, "How much money do you make? Can you provide us with your financials?" And I answered them back. I answered them back politely, and I said, I would love to discuss with you the financial aspects of what I do in a video format, just like how we're talking right now in a Zoom or, a live stream. And they said, oh, we're going to move in a different way for our story. No problem. And then they came out with the story, and it was about how First Amendment auditors make money. And they found two random individuals who I have no idea who they are. They're a couple. They curse a lot. They scream a lot. They, the video was just them cursing and screaming at members of the public and law enforcement and getting kicked out of this public building. And they went over, and these two, I call them useful idiots. That's what they were, because they didn't even shout out their channel or anything like that. So I have no idea who these people are. And most probably in our community don't know who they are either. But
hold on.
They went and they showed them their YouTube studio. Yeah, I made $600 on this video. I made this, and the CNN reporters there, and they followed them around when they did these audits. And it's crazy because the goal of the CNN story was to portray First Amendment auditors as only wanting clicks and views and being provocative and looking for negative interactions. The ironic part of that is that's exactly what CNN did in their story. They didn't want me to come on their story and be a part of their story, because I would talk about boring things about how I've been invited to train police departments, district attorneys' offices. I've done ride-alongs with law enforcement. I've worked side by side with law enforcement. I've investigated corrupt mayors. I've broken stories on mayors using federal funds for receiving federal funds that they voted on for their construction companies. So again, and I don't curse or scream in my videos, so it wouldn't be as entertaining for people.
That is true. You don't curse and scream. However, you did accuse a random woman of being somebody's mistress without any proof.
Just because you don't curse and what have you doesn't mean that you're not getting up into people's faces and acting like an asshole to everybody and try to, bully up to them. You
God
short
damn, that
asshole.
is savage Lady Dragon blood.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Listen,
Really not
bro,
wrong.
you can hire me back, bro.
I won't fuck up any more storylines like I, did with, when I worked with WWE and WCW and AEW and all the others. It won't happen again this time.
Oh, it's definitely gonna happen again. But Sean, you didn't really break a story. How you got the information is sus and questionable.
Yes.
You lost the defamation case when you sued the mayor for defamation.
Yep.
Not to mention, the whole point of your auditing is for police accountability. You did nothing. You have not made any real change. You haven't won any case law.
Yeah, in fact, you made case law worse for you there, Sean.
I mean,
look at this butthole.
You are so mad and upset that CNN didn't pick you. You made the comment, and the comment made it sound like they didn't even contact you. But now they've contacted you, but they want to know about your financials first.
Which sounds a little weird.
There's two theories I'm working on, and there's what more likely happened and what might have happened.
Okay.
What might have happened is they tried to reach out to him, and he wanted compensation to be on there.
That sounds about right.
What more likely happened was they contacted him, asked about the financials, and he backed the fuck out. Because it would expose how much he actually makes.
And it expose all his GoFundMe bullshit.
Exactly. The GoFundMes, the chat, the super chats, the gifted memberships, his sponsorship deals. All of that would have exposed him. And then how many people would continue to give him money for his activism?
Yep. It's all about the money for him.
But CNN selectively chose these two useful idiots so that way they can get what? Clicks and views on their video. So again, right.
Go ahead. Maybe CNN doesn't like the competition from you, from people.
So.
What?
I think they see it as a threat.
I think that's a good valid point because a lot, even Newsday is our local newspaper here on Long Island. News 12 Long Island is the broadcast arm of that. And none of them have covered, the New York Post covered this arrest because Lou Savilla wanted them to, the police union president. But none of the local
their own
outlets have covered this story.
I was going to say, did that bitch just really highlight her own fucking comment?
Yes! At the real news.
What the fuck? God, she's such a worthless piece of shit. She's literally fluffing herself at this point. We don't get our channel is not monetized. We don't run ads or take corporate dollars. I bet we could look into that and see if you actually are telling the truth or not. I mean, it's not hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how are you paying for all this stuff?
Right.
If you're not making money off of this, how do you have? Because I've looked at getting a fucking Rode camera, not camera arm, but mic arm. Ooh. The cheapest one's like $100 bucks. And that's for like the cheapest model.
What, for just a mic holder?
For the boom arm.
I mean, I might be able to send you one actually, dude.
No, I got one. I got a good one. But I looked into it. Like their mics, their equipment they use. They're paying for editors or they're doing all their own editing. Either way, you have to pay for software.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Pariah, you hit it on the head. They didn't use LIA because they knew he'd make it about his court cases and not about actually what he does.
I'm willing to bet they make money off of this. I'm
Oh,
willing to
I
bet on it.
guarantee they do.
Interest story, whether you want to paint me out as a YouTuber, a gadfly, an agitator, whatever you want to call me, I'm still a public
Asshole.
figure. And Lou
Loser.
Sevilla was the police union president, and there was a
Douchebag.
confrontation where I was arrested. That seems like news that would
Motherfucker.
be interesting and for the residents in Suffolk County or Long
The
Island
stain
that
that
they
comes
report
off
to.
of vegan
But they
booty
choose
sweat.
not to. They pick and choose their stories. They pick and choose the themes of their stories. And I do the same thing. And my themes are focusing on police accountability, exposing what's happening inside our police departments. I'm telling everybody watching now, and I say this on my channel, the police unions, especially here in the Northeast and specifically Suffolk County, they receive, again, I don't just go up there with a camera. I was just working before, looking up, it's a 501c. I'm looking up their financials. They have $15 million, the police union in Suffolk County, $15 million in assets. They bring in $5 million
Most
a
of
year
your
in annual
info is
revenue.
fucking
They get
wrong.
paid through
or
the
you cherry
contracts.
pick shit.
Through the
Right.
contracts from the county, they get paid canine pay.
Oh,
They
this
don't
bullshit.
have a canine. Right? I want to make this clear. There's
What?
not one.
I want to bring this back here because I want to take it back just a little bit. But listen to all the shit he says they get paid for doing. But he thinks it's the union that gets this pay.
Yeah, he's so fucking stupid and single-minded that he can't, like, it's not one-to-one. It's like, you know, it's not all black and white. There's literally gray through everything, and this numbnuts just does not get that.
Okay, so listen to what he believes the unions are getting paid, not the cops who have to deal with this stuff.
A pay. They don't have a canine. Right? I want to make this clear. There's
What?
not one canine that works for the PBA, the police union. They get canine pay. They get hazard pay. They get a midnight pay. It's a 9 to 5 job.
One thing, Sean, that you're touching on, which I
Even
think is
she
really
can't believe him.
Yeah, there's no fucking way you can believe this bullshit. The PBA
It's a
is
9 to
not getting paid for that.
It's
Okay.
a 9 to 5 job.
Okay, I've
Nice.
looked it up.
What?
I've looked it up. There are some police departments that do 8-hour shifts. And those 8-hour shifts are from the time they start their patrol and all that. But you factor in once they still might have to do work on the clock or off the clock for like another 2 to 3 hours doing reports.
You might have a stop or something or an arrest that goes really long, and you got to make sure they're there, and you got to do all the fucking paperwork. You could be over by 5 hours. He wants to make it seem like everything is so fucking bad, but he doesn't understand that actual world. He doesn't understand anything. Because he's gotten a little fame and a little money off of what he's done, he's let it go to his fucking head, and he thinks he's always right now.
So when I looked into this, I found out, okay, there are some stations that do like 8-hour shifts. There are some that do 10-hour shifts. Sheriff's departments usually do 12-hour shifts.
Yep.
Okay, you factor in, okay, they might have to be doing more when it comes to doing reports and getting those done. They might be over 2-3 hours.
Yep.
So a 10-hour shift might be a 13-hour shift. A 12-hour shift might be a 15-hour shift.
Like when I worked for the sheriff's office, I was working 12s. There's been many times where I went over. He's just a moron.
Okay. They get canine pay if the handler has to take the dog home with them.
Yep.
That's the state saying, okay, we're paying you an extra amount to cover the cost for the dog. You have to take it to the vet. You have to get it its food. You have to buy its bedding. You have to keep it entertained. Here's money for the dog. We'll put that in your paycheck.
Yeah, it's duh.
No,
But he just doesn't understand.
but he said, and I love that, the PBA don't have dogs on the payroll.
Correct.
important is how lucrative policing is in terms of their relationship with the government. Because I remember in Baltimore, we had take-home cars all officers had take-home cars and they could drive back to Pennsylvania, and the city paid for the gas. And it was like $100,000 benefit. But the mainstream media doesn't want to take it on because they want police officers to feed them crime stories, which is more of their fodder. But what you're doing is amazing because you're actually challenging their lack of good reporting, which probably embarrasses them. I mean,
and it's
to hell with the truck.
And I completely agree with you. When they want the murder scenes, they want, you know, the vehicle pileups, they want to get that call, and if they're adversarial, which, you know, you guys were talking about how a press should be adversarial, and I completely agree. I think that's the foundation, an adversarial press towards the government. But they want those stories, and then it's such a big story because they just got an 18% raise. Lou Civillo, for example, gets paid $265,000 a year as the police union president. He keeps his full law enforcement officer capabilities, yet he doesn't patrol, he doesn't investigate crime. He sits in a desk defending officers who are accused of misconduct all day long and pushing his propaganda out they own radio stations, they have podcasts. They've embraced social media in order to to brainwash the people.
Do you know where the $5 million revenue comes from? I mean, do they get it from donations or do they charge for services or something? Are they doing
ridiculous
moonlighting, or where does it come from? Do you know?
Yeah, so I just started looking into it before I came on here. I was just looking at everything, all the documents.
I'll look into it too. Yeah,
501c documents, but their revenue comes from union dues, and again, they're in violation of election law. In New York State, you can't force somebody to donate to a candidate. So what they're doing is they're collecting union dues, and whether the police officer is a Republican or a Democrat, sometimes that money goes to somebody who the police officer doesn't want it to go to. And that's in violation of election law. And the Suffolk County legislator, Rob Trotta, a former detective.
Oh, this bullshit. Yeah, no, he's completely fucking wrong when it comes to this shit.
So I give him all the credit. And the district attorney said, you know what? I don't have jurisdiction. It's funny how the district attorney didn't have jurisdiction for a New York State crime, but the district attorney can receive $500,000 in campaign contributions from the PPA. The Suffolk County executive gets $1 million. These legislators, think about this. How can anybody be okay with the system where Suffolk County Police Union can funnel money into the pockets of politicians, and those same politicians get them elected? They go door to door for them. They have mailers, the whole apparatus, and then they get elected, and then they in turn vote on these 18% raise increases, hazard pay for police unions,
20-year pensions, 20-year pensions.
20-year pensions.
Yeah, I'd like that.
They make these backroom deals where there was an officer that was accused of using the surveillance apparatus for his own personal gain. And he went on to have 14 years. They said, okay, admit to this misconduct. And in 14 years, when you get your full funded pension, you have to leave. That's not accountability.
Oh, I mean, we've had multiple officers who have been charged.
Sean, just because it's not something you fucking want doesn't mean there's not accountability. You are blowing everything out of the fucking water with no proof. You don't actually show evidence on what you say. That's why we call you liar. You have you're throwing out these dangerous things. Oh, this dude was actually doing this. He was accused, but hint, hint, wink, wink. He was doing, and the cops are just covering up. Dude, they don't just do that. We've seen people get in trouble and fired for misusing the flock cameras. What the fuck are you talking about? That's accountability right there. My bad.
No, it's fine. But but this is just pure hypocrisy from LIA. You're talking about they have these platforms. You have the exact same platforms. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have X.
Yeah.
You have your billboard truck. Oh, bring it.
Oh, I would fucking pay good money for him to do that to me or NCR. Fuck. Oh, dude, I would. Fuck.
I want him to, because then I'm going to be launching an investigation on him. How do you get my info?
Yep.
Did somebody dox me? Because if somebody doxed me and I take his ass to court, I'm going to put somebody's ass in federal prison.
That's right, because you can get discovery and you can find out who told him that, get the messages. That's somebody doxing you. Boom, they're fucked. Him and
he
his
comes up to
stupid
my
cat
house.
picture.
He knocks on my door. I might be borrowing my neighbor's Rottweilers. Just saying.
I wish he would knock on my fucking door. My Great Dane and my pit would love to see him.
Right, Shaggy.
Yeah.
Convicted of crimes who are allowed to keep working. I mean, the basic thing is you pointed out, I think, in both your Brian Fahey case, which we'll get to, is these pensions are golden parachutes. You know, they are multi-million dollar bonuses for these people. So a lot of what happens in Baltimore is even though you've been convicted of a crime, they keep you on the payroll so that you get your pension qualification, which is like that's when you hit the jackpot of the lottery. So, you know, that's great work you're doing.
Somebody
You want to get to the next one so we don't.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have another comment here. Now, let me just give you some fair warning. Here is a proponent of police power urging you to obey a lawful order, which of course has some pretty broad implications. So this is Jim 0417 commenting on the Sean Paul Reyes arrest coverage. I agree there is free speech. However, don't push your luck. Just leave, then no problem. No arrest. I am a retired police detective, and if I'm told something by the police, I comply. It's just that easy. Now, Stephen, I think this refers back to some of your thoughts on police power. What do you think?
Well, you know, I mean, I think the idea that there is this police control over space, that somehow, you know, if they deem a space to be theirs, is sort of an extension of, you know, some of the worst aspects of this country's lessening democracy. So, I mean, I didn't say this in the beginning, but I think one thing that Sean Paul exposes by going into police space and pointing a camera at them is their absolute thought of control over space, which I think is a way of showing how latent authoritarianism in America kind of makes its way through policing.
It's their property.
And when you think about it, you show up with a camera, they could have ignored him. They could have just answered his question. They could have done a lot of things, but they decided to confront him with power and command over that space. So I think disobeying orders from police about space is pretty much the most fundamental American kind of dissent you can do. So I'm all for Sean going and pointing cameras, because what amazes me is what you see. I mean, someone points a camera at you and you start ordering around and say you're going to arrest him. What does that mean? What is that telling you about this country? What is it telling you about authoritarianism? Like, Sean, are you surprised sometimes when people like freak out because you show up just by showing up, not even doing anything?
I've been doing this 5 years now, and it still surprises me to this day because it's so nonsensical. You're 100% right. The police union president he was upstairs in his penthouse suite. He didn't have to come down with 5 other officers from the police union. He could have stayed up there, told the receptionist, tell him he needs to leave. He's not welcome here. And I would have left, and there would have been no incident. There would have been no clicks and views. There would have been no story for that particular video. I just would have left like I was leaving. And these people, like this former officer that commented that, and I see it, especially in my county, and I want to use my billboard truck to bring.
I have a simple question, and God, that's a great pause space. It looks like the edibles just kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
But
like Timu Larry King's tongue has just hit the right spot.
But Fahey went inside his house after he told you to get off his property.
Yep.
You walked away as quick from the house, but then as soon as you were starting to get to that driveway, you kept slowly walking, talking to the camera. Again, you are your own worst enemy when it comes to evidence, because you did this at Fahey's house when he went inside. You're saying that if the PBA president never came out, you would have just left the property. I'm calling bullshit on that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you saw my comment, but staying a little quiet because I feel a rant coming on, and I'm trying to not be that guy.
No, there's gonna be those times.
Oh, go ahead, rant. I love a good rant.
With your permission, sir, can I have like maybe a minute?
Cue DJ's old man bitch session now.
Is this guy out of his motherfucking mind saying it is the duty of people to get in police spaces and not deal with that little area that they say they're controlling? Is he out of his fucking mind? That's how people get hurt. That's why Halo laws are being invented, because fuckheads like this like to interfere and cops end up getting hurt and shit goes sideways. This asshole basically said, hey, no matter who you are, you should go up and anytime a cop is doing something, get in their fucking faces, get in that bubble. It doesn't matter. Do it, because fuck them, fuck the cops. This guy is basically saying, hey, everybody, go get arrested because you are interfering. This is how people get hurt. This is what we've gone off about when other frauders like, yeah, you need to get up in their faces. You need to yell at them. You need to scream at them, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You're going to get fucking people hurt. This is dangerous fucking rhetoric. This asshat just spoke. LIA is one of the fucking worst because he thinks the rules don't apply to him. And all these fucking auditors who look up to him are starting to do the same fucking thing. It's assholes like this that gets the First Amendment fucking whittled away little by little. Fuck this guy. Fuck LIA. I feel better. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. But this whole thing, he said in one of his live streams, he feels like he's getting too old for this, and he'll just teach people how to be auditors, and they can send him the footage.
Right? I mean, Chili tried to start his own fucking frauditor school as well. Like, all these guys are just creating more problems. It's what it is.
You know, DJ, you may not have been here for this, but SC, Team Skeptic, Artie's Corporate Fiction, Keeping It Criminal, Natalie Lawyer Chick, a lot of the people who've been around this stuff, been around like the start of YouTube pushing auditors, said it. These guys are going to whittle away our constitutional rights to the point where we have none.
Yeah, I remember when Team Skeptic went off on fucking Chili about that. And they're not wrong. It's literally going to get more and more difficult if these assholes keep trying to push this. I mean, the Halo laws already.
Platform, especially, I'm going to focus on my county moving forward because it's important.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Ben.
Oh, no, you're good, homie. No, but like, and I think these Halo laws are good things because of these assholes. 100%. They can bitch and whine all they want to, but it's on them. They're the one that caused this problem.
Important to me. When I was protesting, one of the neighbors of the district attorney told me, you're a liberal communist, and they were so
yeah,
violent.
That was funny.
And calling me a communist. And these people don't even know the definition of communist, but they just repeat what they hear. They have no idea what a communist is, what communism is. They have no idea what these terms mean. They heard other elected officials call people communists, and that because they don't like them, and they say, "Oh, you're a communist." You want to hold the police accountable, then you're a communist, and it makes no sense. So I still get shocked to this day.
Yeah, just like when you call the police tyrants. Or Nazis.
Someone else to tell me, but he wanted.
Or the entire state of
He
Connecticut
was looking for the confrontation. He came out with handcuffs in hand.
Thank you, Damien.
He was looking for that to happen.
Oh, so he had his handcuffs in hand? He
had his handcuffs. Remember, he's not a real law enforcement officer. He doesn't do law enforcement activity, yet he gets paid for law enforcement activity. But he doesn't. He
is a law enforcement officer, dude.
He actually does the opposite. He shields officers in this county. And they introduced legislation. They just introduced a bill into the New York State Senate where you have to be 15 feet away from a law enforcement officer. That came directly from him. He's the one pulling the strings. And it doesn't matter, Democrat or Republican, they all take PBA money. They all want to be seen as back to blue, especially in my county. And it's just sad to me that people like that commenter. I don't blame him. I think his ignorance comes from his lack of critical thinking skills, his lack of media variety, and he just wants to blame somebody. Just comply. But the most ironic part is I was complying. I mean, how can you watch that video and
no, the
not
fuck you were not
see that I was complying? Maybe I wasn't complying in the way that you wanted me to. Maybe I wasn't complying in the way Lucivilla wanted me to, but legally I was complying.
What was interesting is it was almost the opposite of when police use the stop resisting to do it. You were saying, I'm leaving. Right. And, basically making it clear that you were retreating and following and obeying the law and their requests. So it was just weird and ironic that they kept confronting you even when you said you were leaving, which I think has to do with this police preoccupation with space and dissent, because
he doesn't know what the fuck he's saying. Got it.
Showing them up for what they're doing to the taxpayers of Suffolk County. And they don't want that. And it's interesting that it's you that's doing it and not the people, the mainstream media with all their money and power that are doing it. But it's one guy with a truck and a YouTube channel that is actually doing this, which I think, I think it's really telling, right? Because I've covered this kind of stuff in policing, and you get so much pushback when you talk about their pensions or about the fact that they can work. The guys you're talking about get some sort of dumb desk job where they sit and they file. They don't do anything. I mean, we had the Gun Trace Task Force where they literally went on vacation in the Bahamas and got overtime. So, like, what police are able to do with money and what they're able to do with the resources,
you need to show facts and proof of that, sir.
Stephen, they use that money. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I think you explained that basically Suffolk County is the home of the $1 million pension, right?
Yeah.
So I actually did some calculating on how long it would take me to save that type of pension with a little bit of money I put aside each year. I would need to work 200 years to be able to have that be my pension.
No,
so that's something to look forward
it's
to.
A Ponzi scheme.
What the fuck?
It is a.
If you put your money in the right investments, you could actually make a really nice pension.
Like with a CD, 401k, there are multiple things you can do. And also, ma'am, okay, you're not going to be able to make that. That's fine. You're not a fucking cop. You're not in the same line of work. Oh, no.
No. This is what frustrates me about this. The entire time watching it, this was the stuff that they say that makes no sense. Like this. Oh, well, it would take me 200 years to get a $1 million pension. Okay. How much are you putting in at a time?
Yeah, like what is in your tax bracket? How much do you make? Are you able to do it in different sort of I mean, like, what the hell is she talking about?
I mean, you could take CDs and invest them into a 401k. You could buy stocks and just have the dividends go into the 401k, which will get matched. You can set up, these financial tools to get a decent pension. You don't need a $1 million pension. You would just need enough to have a comfortable nest egg to cover your costs. I mean, if you're worried about money right now, monetize your channel.
Yep.
Because you have, I'm going to pull this up here.
I mean, they almost have 10K views alone on this video. Monetize it, woman. What the hell are you doing? Do you want me to see how many? I can look up.
No, I got it. I got it, homie. Back up here. So check this out. Real News Network. 1.11 million subscribers.
Yeah, she's full of shit. She has this monetized. That's bullshit. You don't do that.
They have a newsletter. They have an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, a Telegram, Blue Sky, TikTok,
OnlyFans.
Everything.
You have over 15,000 videos. Yeah, your videos aren't always hitting high numbers, but you would hit enough to make a decent profit if you put out more. Okay, your live streams are really good. This one's got 9.9 thousand. The one they did 3 months before that has 16,000, 29,000, 20,000, 12,000. They've got one on here that's got 251,000 views, 240,000 views, 110,000 views.
It's her fault then at this point. There is many avenues she could take with this channel with how many views and subscribers she has that she could be making money off of it, which I guarantee she is. She's just probably blowing smoke up everybody's ass. Like
Social Blade. I know Social Blade's not really the best, but it's a good tool to get a rough estimate.
Well, I can actually.
So
they have channel membership. They're making money off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's full of shit.
Now
I'd be surprised if they didn't have Patreon.
Okay, looking at the 7th, going to now from July 24th to right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Their videos have made roughly between $2 and at the highest point, $107. Okay.
It's still money.
You know, you got that guaranteed monthly membership. Just saying, if you're not making money,
they're extorting the police officers in Suffolk County. Through the police union are extorting the taxpayers. They put out buzzwords like, "Oh, because we protect you, we keep you safe, we do this, we put our lives on the line." All propaganda that means nothing. They're law enforcement officers. Even for body cameras, we had to pay them. We had to pay them more money every single year. I believe they got like an extra $2,000 a year each just for them to put on body cameras. In what other profession does your boss tell you need to put this on your uniform? And then they're like, "Well, I'm not going to do it unless you pay me." It is a racket. It is a racket, and the people need to know about it. And a lot of people know, and they don't care. They back the blue, and regardless of what. And that's why we call them bootlickers.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd like to go on to the next comment. I think it's very appropriate because it's apparently, Sean Paul, you're just not nice enough to rich people. That's what this comment's saying. I thought it was a little odd, but I thought it was worth talking about. So this commenter, Alma Adams 3631, wrote on a recent episode, "I was on this guy's side until he brought up Bezos and Musk. How are they the bad guys again? I mean, did this guy go to commie college? I mean, I guess they all are these days." Commie college. Okay, I've seen.
Just a public service announcement. We are very welcoming of Marxists here and communists at the Real News Network. So
and libertarians and libertarians
and any ideological stripe.
Okay, we welcome all political viewpoints to all types of thinkers with all types of ideologies who support democracy and want to have an interesting conversation about it. So communists, come on in and have a conversation.
Like, why would you critique him that way when he's talking about
talking about, lady?
I think that's an interesting connection. Right, symbolic, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, again, there goes the commie thing, right? It's these people are, they're just brainwashed, and it really disheartens me as an American and somebody who loves this country.
I have so much respect for you, CR, watching this fully already, and like video that you did, because if I would have done this video, it'd just been me screaming the whole fucking time at them.
Mm-hmm. And this is like. And this is something I get asked all the time. How do I do it? How do I do it? These guys are so infuriating. I do it because I do not want their bullshit to get out there.
That's fair.
They are the modern day snake oil salesman.
That is a very good line. Yep.
Chili has his trifold. No, I'm being serious. He has his trifold that he will sell you. And it's going to help you deal with the cops. But people who have used the trifold, even Chili, tried using the trifold on one of his own videos, and the cop just like looked at it, okay, and then threw it.
Yeah, I know. I played that video yesterday. We were laughing our asses off about that.
Okay, he's partnered with a company.
Good times.
That's supposed to get you a lawyer on any police interaction. Okay, having them at your house asking to come in. and then using that to say, hey, should I let them in? Yeah, no, don't let them in your house unless they have a fucking warrant. Fine. But even the website says they cannot give you legal advice.
Exactly.
If you go onto the Attorney Shield website, it tells you in black and white, they are not your legal representation.
Yup.
Then they shouldn't call themselves Attorney Shield.
They tell you
that's why they've been sued.
They are not your legal representation. They are considered just an advisor.
I'll call them out again, Jeff Bezos. They're an oligarchy. They're no different than the oligarchs in Russia. The only difference is that you love them. The people love them. You worship them.
Said.
They're no different. They're celebrities here. That's the only difference. The oligarchs in Russia are just hiding behind their fortresses, and that's going to happen too. Listen, I in another life I would have been a history teacher. I love history. One of my favorite quotes is, "Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it." And we are on the track for the oligarchs. Look at the wealth separation in this country. Why don't you actually use the real no one's trying to. It just doesn't make any sense. You could call me a communist or whatever you want. I'm telling you, these billionaires don't have the everyday. You're sitting here. That person. The sad part is that person is defending the oligarchy. And yet they're living paycheck to paycheck every week. And that's the sad part to me.
And I think that's the point of police power, to project the idea that you're not worthy of, an equal society with an equal, sharing of wealth. I think part of the thing is that police make you feel that there's some sort
sharing of wealth
chaos outside of this constructed oligarchy. And then if you challenge police, you're challenging, law and order. And then there will be this chaos of like you said, like commies, like Long Island, it's coming, knocking on your door. And I think that's part of the point of why policing fuses with Bezos and Musk in that sense, Teo.
These are literally going off the Communist Manifesto about the quality of wealth and everything.
They're the defense against the oligarchy. They're not here to, that's the part. They're not here to protect you. They're here to extort you through tickets and everything else. You get pulled over, you're paying hundreds of dollars for tickets. Like, I don't understand. Can police officers be heroes individually? Sure they can. Sure they can engage in heroic activity, and I will admit that. But to call law enforcement officers generally heroes is disgusting. It's just like, to me, it's like, sure, it just doesn't make sense.
You know what? I just have to jump in here, because when I heard you talking about oligarchy, and I think in a past life you were a history teacher, I have no doubt. But when I think about Jeff Bezos and his net worth, and when I think about Elon Musk, our newest trillionaire on the planet, that kind of money is more than some countries have. That kind of money it absolutely influences our government. It influences public policy. So to say that we shouldn't criticize these people, hold them accountable is absurd to me. These people don't deserve sort of unique protection because they managed to win out in the lottery of life. These people, if they have the power of a government because of their bank,
their asses off for that, lady.
Answered, and we deserve transparency.
Agreed.
So I'm sorry, that just gets me a little heated, because we actually have a show called The Inequality Watch, which I think Stephen would argue is the oligarchy accountability report. I mean, how would you answer that comment?
And it's interesting because the two views, like Sean has pointed out, Sean Ray has pointed out, policing and inequality and oligarchy all kind of come into one big problem for all of us, working people in a sense. So you want to do the next one?
Yeah, people are working against their own. You should not be talking. The people, people need to stop working against their own interests and fighting against their own interests. I mean, it is you're defending a man that has more money than he could ever spend in a million years, and you can't afford to pay your electric bill. It's bizarre to me. It's bizarre.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really don't understand it. I try to understand the psychology of it, but it does elude me. But let me go.
Yeah, that's because you're dumb.
Comment for you, because I want you to see all
things elude you, bitch.
Someone who looks at Sean Paul's work in kind of a broader context, and I'm wondering what you both think of it in terms of what at stake, and whether we're overlooking some of the broader implications of what auditors and First Amendment activists do. So let me read it, and I'll have Dave put up clip 5. Okay, so democracy itself is at stake. Being ruled, terrorized, controlled, manipulated, dominated, and lied to is not freedom. Okay. So to me, that's very heavy, very powerful. So what do you think?
How is that powerful? It's a stupid fucking statement.
I think I'm fighting for accountability and democracy. Anything that
We don't
gives
live
power
in a
back to the people.
democracy,
That's why
Sean,
I
you
wear my We the People hat
stupid
everywhere I go.
dum-dum.
I want the people to have the power, and I want people to act in their own interest when it comes to power, because
People
the
do
people
have
that
the
are
power,
elected
Sean.
in our offices do not have our best interests at heart. It's because you see the ads. Money controls politics between, campaign spending. It all revolves around money. Look how much money Elon Musk put into the election. No one man should have all that power, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 new gifted memberships given out by the very, very generous NCR News Network.
Hello.
Timoth 156, Jessica Chastain. Oh my God, if you're the actual one. Aiden Cade 1, Frauder Follies, love that name. Mia 4202. Awesome. Welcome, y'all. NCR, you're a good dude.
Thank you.
And another meme.
Oh, look at this fucking worthless.
But
that's fair.
Here's the thing.
It's like it's like he's about to say something. Then what was I gonna say?
I've been there.
We do not live in a democracy. We live in a represented republic.
Yep.
We do not live in a representative republic. We all live in a yellow submarine.
Okay, that's fair.
A yellow submarine.
I fucking hate you.
A yellow submarine.
Well, they're like, don't you dare call me this, that, and but they're literally reading off the fucking Communist Manifesto. They're pissed off because people have a lot of money. Oh God, oh well.
Those
people
don't
work their
make as
asses
much money
off.
as I would love to with this, but this is what I chose as a career. I chose this because I love doing it.
And you're damn good at it.
If you
but I'm
don't
not
want
going to
them
go
to
and start bitching that other creators make more than me. I'm not.
Yeah.
I want to make more money. I'll just work harder. That's how it is. But
exactly.
Sean is not a fucking freedom fighter. What is he doing to fight for our freedoms?
And nothing. It's what he wants. See, the guy kind of got it right when he called him a fucking communist, because it's basically all about Sean. Sean wants all the power. Sean wants all the money. He wants to be the most important person ever.
Jared, if you want to use that as one of the Frauder memes for
yes, please do.
When I do the Frauder meme review, you guys can email those memes to me. You can send them to me on Discord. There's a whole channel on my Discord that you can use. Send them to me on the group for the fan page on Facebook.
Yes, please do.
It's the perfect pause for you to put a speech bubble there.
IR freedom. IR communist.
I mean, I did it with T-Rex boy. I can do it now.
But no, this statement, he is fighting for our freedoms. He's a freedom fighter. You know what's a freedom fighter? The men and women who decide, I'm going to sacrifice time away from my family, my friends, my community, and and risk my life to fight for the country I believe in.
Yep.
Those are freedom fighters. Anybody who's put on that uniform and served with honor is a freedom fighter. They are defenders of democracy and freedom in this country. And I'm speaking directly to you, John Paul Reyes of Long Island Audits. You are not a freedom fighter. You are a YouTuber who's got his own head stuck up his ass so much you cannot see that you are the problem.
Ooh, preach, my brother, preach.
Nothing.
Right.
They call the cops tyrants. Yeah, if they went over to, say, North Korea, they wouldn't have anything. YouTube doesn't exist over there. So they got no money. They shove a camera in someone's faces, they're disappeared.
Their whole family's disappeared.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
And I hate. It pisses me off when they call people Nazis.
I agree.
The Nazis murdered over 11 million people. 6 million alone, over 6 million alone were Jewish.
Yeah, but if you talk to some of these auditors, they don't believe in that number because, the Jews are the bad guys.
Yeah, yet they'll call a cop a Nazi because they dared to put someone in handcuffs.
NCR sent you something on Discord.
All right.
And that's another thing. When it comes to them getting angry at Trump, how many people?
Oh my God!
Over 300 million people in the United States.
Oh, that's going into meme review.
Actually vote? How many actually vote?
How many actual people in the United States vote? Is that what you're asking?
You cannot refuse to vote and then complain about who gets elected.
Yep. Fizzy's right. Yeah, it's less than half.
All right. You know what? He wants to talk about real tyrants, real tyranny. Okay. Have you ever heard of the Clash in Korea?
Oh, fuck.
Damien?
The Clash, the band?
No.
No, the Clash did not play in Korea.
The Clash in Korea was not an AEW, but a New Japan and a WCW event where they went to Korea to do a wrestling thing, like to do like a 2-night, 3-night.
North or south?
North.
Yeah.
North Korea.
They went to North Korea.
Oh, hell.
Okay. So
Did they actually make it out?
Yes.
They made it out. You had people there like I think it was Hawk from the Road Warriors, Too Cool Scorpio. You had Flair. You had all these huge names for both the WCW and New Japan Wrestling. And they were dealing with real tyrants and communism there because the one guy was on the phone with his wife. The phone goes off and military guys come in and they start saying, you can't say this about Korea. You can't say this about the country. Like, how the hell? You're listening to my fucking phone calls? Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
They literally were playing pool. The ball fell off the table and they took the entire fucking table out because they felt like they were disrespecting the country.
Damn.
Ric Flair literally kissed the ground on the tarmac when they got to U.S. soil.
Yes, he did.
I would too.
Ric Flair is so fucking old that he fought the pharaohs. I'm just saying. You can see it right now. Let my people go. Woo!
Because I'm styling and profiling, baby.
But I can just imagine him parting the Red Sea. The staff goes up.
Oh, the collision in Korea.
Yeah, collision.
I'm sorry, but
God slaps him. He falls down into the sea. It parts. He gets back up. Does the fall again.
But the craziest thing is this: is they were on their way and they're seeing all these people there. And the guys were talking, they're like, oh my God, this is going to be a huge thing. This is going to be a huge thing. And the driver in the car is like, no, they're not here because they want to. They're here because they were told to come here.
Yeah.
That is not happening in this country. You have the right to, you have the right to film the cops. You have the right to say what you want. Not over there
Yeah,
where there's real tyranny,
what I
real
mean.
tyrant. They only have 12 fucking haircuts. Literally, they are allowed 12 haircuts.
Yep.
They have no idea what actual tyranny is.
Oh, no, not at all. Like, he couldn't pull the shit that he pulls here in the UK.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's
get back to this.
You know, it's crazy to me that, you know, people, even with flock cameras, the advent implementation of flock cameras, they're here for your safety. You know, one of another favorite quote of mine is by Benjamin Franklin: "Those who give up their essential liberty to purchase temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." And it's so sad how quickly we've forgotten and have handed over all of our rights. You know, we're going to have a surveillance state, police state, and all of these people in power that have all of this resources and money, and no one does anything about it. Most people don't even go out and vote. Most people don't make their voices heard because they're too busy working. They have their own family drama, everything else. And they don't pay attention, or they only watch CNN, or they only watch Fox News.
Different ways you can vote.
To try and really critically think and analyze what's going on in our country. And I think that needs to change. So that's my platform, is to try and bring accountability to those in power. And I can't
actual cases.
All I can do is put it out there for people to see.
Yes, those are actual cases
after that
are used all the time by frauditors.
Expose the police union here.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, of all institutions, policing is the most anti-democratic, and, you know, like we said before, kind of the authoritarian impulses of society kind of course through it. And so your battle with them and the battle over space, like, is pretty much to me like the most pro-democracy thing you can do as a reporter. I mean, in some ways, the battle over democracy is incremental, right? Like when I was like when I worked for a TV station, when we would go out to film, we had one space, which was a sidewalk, because you couldn't go on private property, right? And you couldn't go on the road because then they charge you with, you know, obstructing traffic. And yet, even though the sidewalk was like the one place we could set up our camera and our tripod, police would still try to kick us off it. We constantly were battling. And it kind of was illuminating to me, because like, here we had this one little space to do our jobs, to expose X, Y, and Z, and we can't even do this. And so that's why I think, you know, that sort of sense of taking all space over and sort of
reporting the fair and true news, dum-dum.
Not to have a circulatory system to this democracy. I think that's why it does make your work sort of pro-democracy, because you're fighting, in some sense, the most anti-democratic force. This doesn't mean I'm anti-police or anything like that.
Yes,
I just think the institution itself, as you talked about,
very much are
the political economy that sustains it. So yeah, I think democracy is at stake in a sense, along with the broader issues that we've covered on Capitol Hill. But
so I can blow his argument out of the water.
Know, Stephen, you were talking about how we're covering Capitol Hill, and it definitely seems like our democracy is under stress. I mean,
they have to follow laws that are created by elected officials.
Context, you know,
that is the most democratic thing.
The federal government or the Republicans voting for a reconciliation bill that gets $70 billion. Like, let's talk about real money. ICE has $100 billion. Republicans get up and they give the ICE another $70 billion with absolutely no details or explanation of why. The point was just to fund ICE for like an infinite length of time, to fund ICE to do anything. Like, so we've seen how ICE uses law enforcement tactics to disrupt democratic processes, like in Minneapolis, and then of course killed 2 people that didn't need to die. And so they give them $70 billion. And so I think, you know,
fucking God.
Here's Sean fighting it on a local level, and the national level, the same thing is going on. I mean, it's talk about giving, you know, unlimited money to law enforcement. I think there's parallels there, right? You know, Suffolk County has $5 million a year, $15 million here, you know, extravagant pensions. And then on Capitol Hill, $70 billion to an agency that doesn't need it. They still had $100 billion in the bank, and they're funded not year over year, but, you know, until 2029. So the unleashing of law enforcement through money, which we've seen in Suffolk County, we've written about this, is now, like, you know, playing out on a national level. And now you have a national federalized police force with unlimited funds.
You know what? Let me jump to our next comment, because I want to make sure to get to as many of them as possible.
Absolutely.
And we've had some great comments that we've been putting on the screen from the live chat. I appreciate you.
Including
and don't
your
worry,
own.
I will
You
about the tiger
shilling
picture.
bitch.
Not now, but I will ask about the tiger pictures. There's a person who's obsessed with your painting, Sean. So before you go, you're going to have to talk about it. Okay.
It's not my painting.
Okay.
He just said it's not his painting.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Sorry. But I'm sure I'll find out hopefully, right? Right?
Yeah,
you're really
okay.
saying
Back
about
to police unions,
Okay.
one of our favorite topics. And full disclosure, I am a member of a union. I am a union steward. And I can let you know that the Communication Workers Association does not receive any taxpayer dollars.
No.
And I'm not receiving $1 million pension. Like I said, I would need to work 200 years to earn that pension. Anyway, Sean, you explained on our show that you wanted the police union to answer questions about how they protect members who are accused of brutality and misconduct. One of the viewers weighed in on the power of police unions. Dave, if you don't mind putting up comment 6 for me. Okay, here we have Charles Harmon, 4159 says, regarding the police unions throughout the nation are the problem. Unlimited power and authority, the unions, qualified immunity, rampant racism and corruption. Nothing will be correct until we check this. Wow. I mean, Sean Paul, from your experience, how is bad policing a consequence of the power of police unions?
So because they shield officers who engage in misconduct and brutality against accountability. That's literally they will tell you that that's what they do.
Okay,
they
so
shield.
If the
they say
union,
buzzwords and things like, oh, we're just making sure they get due process, that they need to have the same rights as everybody else and everything else.
I mean, that's what Legal Shield was supposed to be.
No accountability at the end of that process, right? That's like if people would be happy if they said, oh, we're going to give due process, to immigrants, and then we're going to let them stay here. Like, people would be upset with that.
See, this is why Sean will never ever debate somebody like NCR or myself or Damien, because we blow this fucking crap out of the water.
By design, the division.
It's dumb.
I can't say that, or we can't say that.
So he's just talking in fucking circles.
Without accountability, without body cameras, without having to take off their masks, not violate people's rights. I went to the location and flew out there to Minneapolis, where Alex Preddy was murdered, and I was at a eulogy there, and it really hit me that a man was murdered and executed by ICE, and people say, well, you should, he kicked a car 2 weeks ago and broke the taillight, and it's like,
bloody filming yourself with them in the background.
Yes. That was fucking that one.
That was the 3 stream event me and you did.
Yeah.
That was before I was
doing
there.
The whole LIA stuff. I had you come up there with me.
Yeah.
Because I needed somebody to talk to, because his shit was just so fucking boring of him. Oh, well, I'm going to the ICE facility. You went there at like midnight. After the protest had fucking died down.
Yeah.
Okay. I hate getting political when it comes to this stuff, but Sean literally does not know what the fuck he's talking about. He sees what he sees on social media. He doesn't do any actual fucking work. And he will just say these things like he's 100% correct. It's fucking disingenuous and it's disgusting.
I don't get political on my channel. I don't, because I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care if you're a libertarian. I don't care if you're communist, Democrat, Republican. I don't care. That's not my business. That's your business.
All I care is if you swallow or not.
Giggity.
Thank you.
But that going to the ICE facilities and the protest, that's what caused him to start losing fans.
Yep.
Because he was yelling at them when they were calling him out.
I remember
like,
that.
Oh, you're just a bunch of bootlickers. You're bootlickers. You're anti-American. Get off my channel.
Sorry, go ahead.
I want you to remember this. With what he's saying now, how he's trying to, like Lisa said, grift off the death of Alex Preddy. He's going the chili route. He is the fucking grifter of YouTube.
Yep.
The A1 community's biggest grifter right here.
100%. Desert Rat, he will never do that. He won't. He will not do that.
Oh, he's got the balls to go to my comment section and insult my viewers for, disagreeing with him. But when I commented on his thread and told him, hey, come up, we'll have a debate. I'll get a neutral party. Crickets.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm technically not a neutral party, but I know how to moderate a debate. I've done it many times. I would be willing to do that. I would literally be the most neutral motherfucker ever. But here's the thing. No matter what, Sean won't do it because he doesn't like the challenge. That's why he's up on these people's fucking thing for this quote unquote debate. He knew beforehand he wasn't going to get like pushback like he would from us.
Because this isn't really a debate. This is just a Q&A.
It's fluffing him.
It isn't a debate because there's not a single person who has an opposing view. They're all on the same side.
Yeah, just let's suck off Sean.
They ask him a question they ask him a comment that might actually have somebody debate him on. But then it turns back to, you're just so good at this. You're just so good at this. Give me a fucking break.
Come on. You need to understand something. That is not, yes, Alex Preddy engaged in violent behavior 2 weeks before he was executed. Even if he was executed that same day, kicking a taillight is not a death sentence. We need to understand this.
Yes.
Wanting accountability for ICE is not pro-immigration or pro-illegal immigration.
He didn't do that at that
they have
incident,
this
though,
in
Sean.
mind where if you criticize ICE in any way, it's now you're pro-illegal immigration, you're pro this. Oh, when I talked about judicial warrants, the differences between judicial warrants and administrative warrants. And I put this on my channel, and I got so much, blowback from my community about, but Sean, you're just trying to protect illegal immigrants. And no, I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to protect me.
No,
I'm trying to protect our country.
No,
because there's a big difference. You cannot go into someone's house on an administrative warrant, because an administrative warrant is basically like a decree from the king. Then we'd be going back to the decree from the king where he says, that's the warrant, and then we're going to go. A judicial warrant is necessary to have a third party look at the facts of the case. I'm trying to protect everybody's rights, including illegal immigrants' rights, because whether you like it or not, they do have rights, and it was by design. And, you don't have to like it, but you have to accept reality for what it is. And police unions generally in this country, but specifically in the Northeast, they are so powerful, so well funded through tax money, and they shield officers from accountability every single day. It happens all the time, and I think police unions should be abolished.
Because
100% he doesn't.
Across the country.
It's just a talking point for him.
When I went,
it's just a
one
talking
time I went
point
to
for him.
police union headquarters, and they actually have a bar in there, and they offer me a beer, which is kind of funny. But when I asked Congressman Mike Lawler about ICE funding, about $70 billion, you know what he said to me? He said, do you want to abolish ICE? That was his answer to my question. Like that. So what you're talking about, this sort of, it's part of the culture of policing, right? You are for or against. When someone says you can either be for or against something, you're in really treacherous territory. Tay and I used to always make this joke, like, do you have to be for and against the sanitation department to ask questions? Like, well, if you ask a question about why we're spending so much money on sanitation, you're against sanitation.
Right. If you criticize that we don't get Tuesday and Thursday pickup anymore, we only get Thursday pickup, then you're anti-sanitation, you hate sanitation workers.
And you're somehow un-American.
There's no other organization and agency in this country that we can't just criticize.
And part of that is the union themselves, because as Sean Wright points out, they have 5 people that are getting paid by the taxpayers sit there and
what are these
espouse the perspective of the union. And let me tell you something. Union officials have great relationships with the media. They didn't have it with me when I was covering them, but I got a lot of crap because the media was so intertwined with the union officials on police union officials. They are so much more powerful, even more powerful than union officials for other aspects of government. There's no comparison to the power of the police union with the power of other public service unions.
I mean, just as I'm sitting there chained to a desk, within hours of my arrest, before I'm released, before anything else, the New York Post has an article out. Do you think that the New York Post was just looking at? No, they made a call to somebody at the New York Post, and even they got a title change. The New York Post reporter that spoke to me when he went to my court, when he went to my arraignment, I said, why did you change the title of your second article? It was very critical of the police union because he was talking about how the video doesn't seem to, it raises questions. He said it in a very nice way too. He says it raises questions as to what the police union president stated in his original comments to the post. They changed the title of that thing to the title of that article to police union president received death threats. And I said, why did you do that? And he said, well, my first title, the police union president called my boss and he made a big stink and we had to change the title. That's how it, you want law enforcement officers to have that much power over the media, over your politicians,
you in the news story
money,
and told the
everything.
truth?
Because they're heroes and you want to idolize them.
Is he like the editor of the Washington, the New York Post? I mean, just so people know, when Sean Ray, after the encounter, the New York Post ran very, I would say, inflammatory articles about your encounter with him, not mentioning the pension or any of the questions you were asking, but simply talking about how once your video aired, people called, which happens with any publication. When I worked for a newspaper and we published a story, people didn't like, we get tons of calls and hate mail. That's normal. That's not like you doing something. They made it seem like you had somehow corralled everyone to call.
Hordes.
Yeah, like that was something you had done. Like, hey, everyone, call the the police union.
Done that before,
and that's extraordinary though that they have that kind of power.
It really is. You know what? Let me jump forward to comment 8 because there are a few more comments I want to get to, and people, I really want to check in on this one because I'm going to try. People are going like to town about qualified immunity in the comment section in our live chat right now. And
favorite topic.
I think this is a really great time to discuss it. Yes. Okay. I mean, any discussion would be remiss without mentioning qualified immunity. And you know what? Let me just give a little explainer. I think everyone in our live chat, our PAR community, knows qualified immunity, but just for anyone who might stumble across us,
are you going to get it right?
Basically, qualified immunity is a legal loophole that makes it extremely difficult to sue the police. So qualified immunity was created as sort of a threshold to give public officials immunity from violating people's rights, and that was a consequence of a law passed during Reconstruction. I think it's a 1983 part of the Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871, which was actually passed during Reconstruction to give people the right to sue, again, for the violation of their rights. But the qualified immunity loophole basically says you can't sue someone if the right hasn't been established, which means it has to have been put through some sort of adjudication before you can sue someone like a cop. And it has to be a case that is incredibly specific to your situation. But if it hasn't been adjudicated upon, it's going to be really difficult to sue. And I think
we're not going to say it. I'm going to fucking play it. Shenanigans.
No, 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 no.
Shenanigans.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Do you want to take this one?
Yeah.
Go for it. Kill him. Kill her.
Qualified immunity may have been established for that at the first point when it was first drafted, but it's been changed over the fucking years to now it's just for government employees to not be sued in the course of their duties. For example, if a fire rescue or an EMT responds to a call and they do chest compressions and break somebody's ribs, they cannot be charged for assault because during the course of their duty, they had to do some form of harm, but was not intentional. Okay? The cops who get in shootouts and end up shooting somebody, yes, that has to be investigated. And if it's deemed a bad shoot, they go to trial. They have qualified immunity. They can argue it. However, then the lawyers can argue it and say, no, this doesn't fall under qualified immunity. The judge makes the ruling and we go from there.
It's so fucking ridiculous that they have let this thing about qualified immunity go around their community. They keep saying this, but they're absolutely fucking wrong about it. I mean, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It's literally like watching 3 morons lick a windshield.
Oh, this one tastes like snozberries.
Exactly. Especially the fat one in the middle.
Liberty Freak in the comment section, and Mr. Brandt know a little something about that. Okay, yes. With all that said, here's the comment about it. Now, this is from American Patriot 3515 on qualified immunity. We, the people, are getting sick and tired of that document known as the Constitution being used as toilet paper by law enforcement all across this country. We need to ban qualified immunity. That would be a good start. Okay, Sean Paul, to you. How big of a problem is qualified immunity when it comes to holding police accountable?
I think it's a huge problem. Again, but I don't want to minimize. I think the number one problem is the police unions. That is the number one problem.
No. It's Terry versus Ohio.
As things, qualified immunity is horrible, but a lot of people focus on qualified immunity. That's probably the number one thing that people who want police to be held accountable are saying abolish qualified immunity, get rid of qualified immunity. But even if you did, the police unions are going to run rampant. It's not going to change anything. I mean, you might be able to sue them and get some additional funds and everything, but most of the rights have been clearly established. But what some judges will do, not all, but some judges will find a wiggle room. And this is what makes qualified immunity dangerous, is that they'll take,
thank you, Cicero. I appreciate you.
Right? Or, any lay person would be like, well, you can film, for example, I'll give you like an example of probably what a judge could do is that, you were filming, the right to record the police on a public sidewalk is clearly established. But if you recorded them from the public parking lot, that's not clearly established. So therefore, right next to the sidewalk. So therefore, he's going to get qualified immunity. So eventually, they're going to run out of little loopholes to try and get people, because it is qualified immunity. It's not what prosecutors have, which is absolute immunity. Judges have absolute immunity.
Right.
So eventually, they'll run out of the little work. And I think the workarounds. I think qualified immunity is very important. But I want to stress to everybody that the police unions and the way they operate within the political system is far more dangerous when it comes to the lack of accountability and police power.
Oh, thank you.
Stephen, I think there's a case that talks a lot about qualified immunity. It's the Eric Brandt and Liberty Freak case in the 10th Circuit. Maybe you want to explain.
Well, like in 2021 or no, I think they actually
lay Eric Brandt now.
2019, the Eric Brandt and Liberty Freak were filming a police officer. They were filming just a traffic stop, and then a police officer drove up and got in front of them, and then he drove his car at Eric. And this is in the 10th Circuit, and I think the case was adjudicated in 2021, 2022. The initial district court said that the officer had qualified immunity because the right to film police had not been established. Now, they won that case. The ACLU joined in, even the Cato Institute joined in, Electronic Frontier joined in. So they won it, but it can show you, as Sean, as you're pointing out, that sometimes, things slip through the cracks. And at that point in the 10th Circuit, the district court judge said, there is no established right to film police. And this is in 2021, 2022. Now, of course, they won, but it just shows you sometimes these things can be a little more complicated. But I do agree with you that police unions are the source and locus of power in, when it comes to policing. It's almost impossible to battle.
Nikki Red nailed it on the fucking head right there.
I'm taking it on now, and I'm not going to stop. And I don't see an end. I think this is going to be for the rest of my career, because it's just what I've seen is just horrible, especially in my own county, and I want to bring awareness to it. But the machine is it's so big that it would take people really waking up and voting out these politicians who can end these contracts, who can, make sure there's accountability. But again, they have a propaganda arm. They have everything. They're an S corp. They get paid a salary. They have expenses. They do this. It's just such a machine.
And a lot of times they fund, if a police officer gets into trouble, I don't know what goes on in Suffolk County, but the police unions, like all the officers who were charged with the death of Freddie Gray, which for everyone who doesn't know, Freddie Gray was a young man who died in police custody in 2015 and set off basically an uprising here in Baltimore. But all the police officers didn't have to worry about hiring a lawyer because the police union pays for it. The lawyers for police officers who get in trouble in Maryland. I don't know how it is in Suffolk County, but they have a lawyer on 24/7 for them. If anything happens to them, they get free legal services from pretty well-paid law firms.
It's not free, dumbass.
And that's the second one.
That's why they pay fucking dues, you twat sucker. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. You're good, man, because they pay the dues because they get insurance from the union. The union has a better plan that might cover their family, so they pay the dues for that. they pay their dues to go towards legal representation if they get hemmed up on something. Okay? That's what their dues are meant for. It's not meant to be just hoarded and be coveted like Smaug from Lord of the Rings. Okay?
Nice reference, dude.
Okay? It's meant to be used when it has to be used. If that means, hey, we pay the monthly dues, part of that goes to the law firm that's going to represent us if we need a lawyer for one of our union members, that's what it means. I want to punch him so fucking bad right now, just to get common sense into him.
Like, this is just fucking ridiculous. Yes, the cops basically have, damn it, Lisa, you said it right before. It's like paying your insurance premium. It's what it is. It's insurance. Dolores, I hope you have a great day.
Bye, honey. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to DJ Dark Lantern.
Yes, please.
He's a good boy.
Ruff. You keep saying that, you know what's going to do to me, right?
I don't know how DJ feels about that, Timothy. You're going to have to ask him when we're not on the clock here.
Moist.
And that's, but that's the secondary, that's like the safety net. Most times in my experience, police officers get indemnified by the county or municipality.
And we're going to get to that.
They get
you are correct.
They get taxpayer-funded lawyers, and they're not getting the county attorneys, especially in Suffolk County or Nassau County, the neighboring county on Long Island. They hire $2,000 an hour attorneys, private attorneys.
Yes.
And I'm sure if I looked into that, I'm sure those attorneys probably donated those law firms.
Absolutely.
The same thing going on in Baltimore.
It's a whole racket. It's a whole racket. It's a whole big club, and we're not in it. Just so people know.
Yeah. It's a classic political economy. We had law firms getting millions of dollars from Baltimore City to handle these lawsuits.
To be involved.
And basically, they could use that money to settle the case.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's the thing. They would fight it. It's insane.
They would spend millions. We have a municipal cap in Baltimore, in Maryland, like it's 500,000 or 900,000, and they would spend more money defending than just. Might as well just pay it out. They would spend $5, $6, $7 million just to defend a lawsuit. They'd eventually pay out, but instead of just paying it out, I think they wanted to run up the billable hours, which is to your point, right? You have the law firms getting involved, making millions and millions of dollars. The politicians getting donations. Mm-hmm. It's pretty nice business, right? And
nice work.
The amazing thing about it that you point out, I think that people don't understand, is if you mess up, the more mistakes you make, the more lucrative it is. In our city, after the Justice Department investigated our police department and found the Department of Justice found we practiced unconstitutional and racist policing for like a decade, the police department got $70 million to fix the issues. Yep. Tons of consultants, like you said.
That was the first thing that happened. They were handed millions more dollars. 70
million, and it just went to all sorts of extracurricular activities, which eventually ends up in the pockets of the union.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Let me grab comment 9 because I think it's an interesting one because it kind of is a dig at me and Steven. There's someone who thinks we shouldn't even be talking to you, Sean Paul. Dave, can you put up comment 9 and I'll read it? Sean Frey, 7975 says, "You gonna hitch your wagon to that mule? Lost all respect for you."
Wow. The fact that you had any respect for these fucking people in the first place.
I'm not sure exactly where that's coming from, but I'm sure you have something to say about it.
Well, first of all, I want to say I have tremendous respect for Sean Ray and all the work that he does. So that I don't even care what they say about that. But also, I think, we should disabuse ourselves of this notion that interviewing someone means somehow you're hitched to their wagon. Covering what Long Island Odds does not mean we endorse anything he does. It just means that we feel that he is newsworthy and that what he does is worth
NCR.
showing to our audience. That's all it is. It's not like we're saying we're endorsing everything Sean Ray does, or Sean Paul Ray does. We're not saying that at all. What we do as journalists, we interview all sorts of people. I mean, should we not interview Republican politicians who disagree with us, or should we not, interview people who we don't think are perfectly suitable? That's not what we do. That's not the kind of judgment we make. We judge things based on their newsworthiness, and Long Island Audits has made a lot of news for a good reason, for accountability reporting, and therefore we will cover him. And I don't really care what people say about it, but I do have tremendous respect for your work. So
You know,
either way,
Stephen, I agree with you. What we do is cover things that are newsworthy.
If they
For
sucked
example,
his
we have
dick
covered
any
victims of
harder,
crime,
his
and we have
balls would
also
come through his
interviewed
shaft.
people who have gone to prison for crimes.
Yeah.
Does that mean I shouldn't interview someone because they've gone to prison?
Right.
Does that mean I should only interview
you're
people that
interviewing
I
somebody
like
right
and
now who
never
went to
someone
prison?
that I might have
I mean,
some fundamental differences with?
half the
There are
politicians in
Demo-
Maryland have gone to prison, and we've interviewed all of them.
Oh my gosh. And they're Democrats,
We have
for
like
the
two-
record.
Yeah. So like we interview people
they
all
actually
the time.
did go to prison.
Yeah.
Our previous mayor did
But-
actually, and I had a lovely interview with her. So I should not interview people
Yeah.
because they're problematic. If they're newsworthy, if interviewing them is going to reveal something important, then I should interview them for the benefit of the public. It's not about liking people. It's not about hitching your wagon to a star. It's about giving the public information that they can find useful.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah.
Case closed
Case
for
closed.
me.
Yeah.
Now, Sean,
And-
I'm not going to force you to react to this unless
I
you
will.
want to.
I will. So first of all, it's to me this is indicative of the tribalism and the death of nuance. And these people, they want to be
You
closed-minded. They don't want to have
don't know what
conversations. And
nuance
this person probably,
is,
he says, he
fuckface.
probably supports. If you asked him, you do support the First Amendment? Do you support the free press? Do
Yeah,
you
that's
support, he'd probably say,
really
yes,
who you
yes,
want.
yes, I
You
love
want the exposure
Constitution.
report.
But the minute that someone engages
on
with
your
somebody
side,
that they
good
don't like
idea.
or starts talking to them, again, just because I'm on your channel, it doesn't mean that I am not. We do not endorse each other for everything that we do. If tomorrow you did something I didn't like, I have full rights to talk about that as well. There is no. I don't have blind loyalty to people. I love the work that you guys do, and I appreciate it. And I think what you guys do on Capitol Hill is great. I watch you guys all the time, and you really speak truth to power. It's great. I wish I could be up there on Capitol Hill. Agitating people and provoking people. And
I
whatever.
wish you could too.
I was gonna say, can you
can join us.
Can you bring your
can
truck
join us.
up to Capitol Hill one time, at
I would
least
love
once?
to bring the truck. Yeah, I would
Okay.
love to.
All right.
We've
I would
got to
love
do
to
the
bring
truck
It's
one
a
time.
deal.
I would love to join you guys over there on Capitol Hill. But again,
We're doing that. That's
All
the
right.
date. That's the date.
I love it.
I want that truck on Capitol Hill, man.
All right,
Right
we'll do
on
it.
the triangle.
It's
It'll be
crazy.
great.
And people are like, oh, journalists don't have billboard trucks. That's true. Most journalists don't. but
I wish
do.
we did.
And right. I'm sure most journalists wish they did too. It's a good way to spread your message around. And again, I'm not saying I'm not Caitlin Collins of CNN, and I'm not, I'm not
Neither am I.
whoever from Fox News, I guess. I'm not those people. I'm Sean Paul Reyes. My platform is my platform. I objectively get.
Guys, so their statement that they're not biased.
What the
That
fuck ever?
They're being fair and balanced with LIA because they're not hitching their wagon to his mule ass. Well, is that like a challenge?
Oh, dude.
Okay.
Get them.
So
Fucking get
I
these
have
people.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos. 2 live streams. Okay. Varying from 11 months ago, 5 months ago, 6 days ago, this very stream. Another 5 months. Okay. They literally have from 2 weeks ago. Whenever Sean gets in trouble, he's going to court, he goes on there.
Yep. Yeah, they're not biased at all. I mean, they literally are just doing hard-hitting journalism and asking him the tough questions and sticking it to him and making sure he's telling the wait a second. Sorry, I had a brain fart. They're definitely not fucking doing that. They're just tossing his fucking salad like it's Olive Garden.
All right.
All right.
So you want to say that you're not hitching yourself to him. You've done stories on him with the Fahey case. You've done stories on him with the not Melbourne, but this case. You've done stories on him in the past. You've covered him and you've kissed his ass for the whole shit with Border Patrol. Don't fucking come to me and say you're not hitching your wagon to him. I fucking proved it. You've been glazing his ass this entire stream.
Phrasing.
If you don't want to say you're biased or you're too fucking scared to do it, I will help you.
Amen, brother. Amen.
You at the Real News Network are biased. You might talk about political things, and that's fine. But when it comes to your policing and anti-cop stuff, police accountability, you are clearly anti-cop and you won't even fucking hide it. Just admit to it. That's all I ask. That's all I'm asking. Admit to it.
Engage in journalistic activities. I objectively exercise my First Amendment right. And again, if you want to call it advocacy journalism, opinionated journalism, yeah, I have opinions, and I don't hide that. I mean, nothing. I talk about things that interest me and interest my audience, and I think that me building platforms.
That's not true, because they have come at you before about the shit you've done.
And at this point, probably 1 billion views, 500 million, 600 million on YouTube alone. You know, these are matters of public interest that people want to see. People are very passionate about it. Whether, you know, I get death threats, I get, you know, people are passionate on the other side too. People threaten to kill me, threaten to kill my, you know, my family. There's a lot of things that go into this, and it's sad to see that people can't have conversations anymore. Like, even if we were totally different, I would still come on your channel. I invited Lou when the body camera footage comes out this Sunday on my channel, this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. You know, I invited him to come on the channel and he accepted. So Lou, if you're watching this, you're still welcome to. I think that he is a despicable thug with a badge, but I would bring him on my channel.
Absolutely.
So that way I can
Great point.
debate him.
Absolutely.
But he would never come. He says it on the body cam. Yeah, I'll come on your channel. Yeah, let's do it. While I'm sitting in handcuffs. While I'm standing there in handcuffs with a pinched nerve in my wrist because he put the handcuffs on so tight, he says, "I'll come on the channel," because I would have anybody on the channel.
Fucking lying.
If I thought it brought value to the greater conversation. And I think him speaking,
hey, Sean, guess what? I'm challenging you to come on my fucking channel and talk to me. NCR wants to talk to you as well.
They talk just generalities. They don't get into any specifics about anything. It's just, you're an agitator. How? You're a provocateur. How? You hate the police.
We'll do the blue bacon challenge.
I've had police officers on my channel. I've gotten pushback from, if you want to talk about the other side of it, I've brought chief of police's, detectives. I've had law enforcement on my channel. I've done ride-alongs. I've done trainings. I've done command staff meetings, district attorney's offices, and some of the more anti-police.
You didn't train them. They just roll their fucking eyes at you the whole time.
You did one ride-along.
Don't think that police should exist whatsoever. They're like, why would you bring on a cop? Because I want to have conversations with people who have different views than I do, so I can understand what it is I need to do and how I need to tackle a problem.
And you only went to one district attorney's.
You know what, Stephen? You know what this sounds like?
Yep.
What?
Sounds like a journalist.
Yeah. Let me just make one public service announcement. I know because I know he's watching. Our editor,
which
Max,
one of you is cupping his balls while the other one sucks him?
So just put that on our budget, because I'm jealous of Sean. I want to show up at Capitol Hill with a truck.
You can use my truck. We will definitely collaborate.
And you were coming down with that truck.
Absolutely.
And
you might be in jail, so you might want to.
We have to do a collab.
We have to do it. I would love to do it.
That's how it works and everything.
August 11th.
And I just want to shout out some of the people in the comments. First off, hi, Car Thief News. Thank you. And also, I want to say hello to Rights Crispy. Hello, another wonderful cop watcher out there. We still have Joe Cool out there, Hippie Auditor out there. I think I even saw John Felix. I don't know if I hallucinated it, but I'm almost positive I saw the John Felix out there. And I just want to
like Joe Cool. I mean,
I know. I know. As a matter of fact,
when you were on DMA,
do you have a DVD next to you?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Why don't you show that DVD? If people are interested in learning a little bit more about cop watchers, there is something you can watch. It's called I Am But the Mirror.
The Story of American Cop Watching.
Story of American Cop Watching. Lacey Arnoldi D, if you wouldn't mind dropping the link in the comments. It's on Fossum. It's an amazing documentary where we followed cop watchers, and in particular, a very controversial one, for several years. And we share their story. We share the story of how we learned about cop watchers, their
just
lives.
About some of the topics we talked about tonight too.
A lot of the things it's okay. A lot of the things that we touched on tonight. It's a very personal and intimate.
Yeah, sorry, that was a little loud. We need to see if we can find a digital version of that and rip it the fuck apart.
Why? Because here's the thing. I can save us the time and headache of having to track it down and watch it, because it's going to essentially be blah, 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 blah. Cops are bad, blah, 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 blah. Cop watchers good, blah, 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 blah. Give us money, blah, 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 blah. We're saints, blah, blah, blah. Commit a crime.
What was the I Am But the Mirror documentary? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay. We'll keep going, but I guarantee I can get a hold of this.
I'm fairly certain you could, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be exactly that.
I can literally post the fucking link in the private chat. I have it. The first thing says voice of Eric Brandt.
Yeah, you don't really want to take Eric Brandt for the face of auditing.
I'm just gonna keep this up, and I might have to dig into this and make fun of it later on.
Look at the lives of Cop Watcher and some of the very personal costs that happen when you put everything on the line because you believe in accountability and transparency. So if you're interested in cop watching, definitely recommend it. Okay, I just had to throw that out there for people who might be interested in continuing this conversation in another way. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to go to the comment 10, and I have to admit this is a little bit of a personal peeve for me. Okay, this is the infamous democracy versus republic debate. I know there's some historians in the comments, so you're welcome to weigh in on this. This is from Edward Commonar, 1493. I stopped watching when you called us a democracy. We are not a democracy, and since you believe that, I will not sub to your channel. Bye. Okay. All right. I hate to say it, but this is
were you
not
trying to be
you
sneaky?
do not have to announce your departure. It's okay.
That was funny.
I love
but,
that.
But secondly, I want to put this up because very often when I use the word democracy in the show, someone brings up that it's formally a constitutional republic as a point, as if I didn't know this or wasn't aware. So please let me break it down so maybe I don't have to go through this again. One is a legal framework or structure of governance, i.e. a constitutional republic, and one is a process for conferring power within that structure. Neither are mutually exclusive. One does not preclude the existence of another. We can live within the structure of a constitutional republic while simultaneously participating in a democracy. I mean, Stephen, am I wrong here?
No.
Yes.
The two coexist. I mean, the process itself of voting is democratic. So, I just wanted to put that up there because people say this constantly when we have this discussion. And just remember, they're not mutually exclusive. They really work well together. Yeah. So when we say one, we're not precluding the other is the point.
Right.
Just want to make that point quick.
Yes. Think of the republic is the building in which the democracy is housed. How about that?
That sounds good.
Okay. So we don't have to argue about this, you guys. I promise.
Never mind.
Promise.
Never mind.
Okay. I won't ask you to. Let's get to 11 because we do have some time.
Yeah.
We do have to watch out for time. So
last comment.
Okay. Last comment that we saved from earlier from Facebook and YouTube. Okay. Who is footing the bill? Okay, so I think this comment makes a really good point, so we need to highlight it. Dave, thank you so much for putting it up. This is Sean Strauss's point. Remember, everyone, cops never pay a single cent for lawsuits, even in a successful lawsuit where qualified immunity is denied. Individual LEOs are still literally always indemnified by the municipality. It's the taxpayers who pay for the lawyers' fees, court cost settlements, and even judgments issued against them. We, the people, currently have no meaningful legal recourse to hold our LEOs accountable, neither civilly nor criminally. So either one of you can take this. Is it true that, let's have Sean do it.
Yeah.
Is it true that police are indemnified by the taxpayers?
In most cases, yes. So there was actually a case that I brought up I covered this case where this man was walking down the street in New York City and officers hopped out like a gang, like literally a gang hopped out of a patrol vehicle and started going into his pants, checking him, searching him. He was just walking down the street, minding his own business, but apparently he must have looked a certain way or walked a certain way. I don't, who knows what they were thinking, but they hopped out and they started searching him. They ended up grabbing his genitals and doing all types of craziness to him. And he got upset and irate about it. He ended up filing a lawsuit. I covered this story probably 3 years ago. And then he texted me, told me, hey, they ended up settling for $100,000. And I bring this up because out of that $100,000, they had to hire their own attorneys, but as Stephen indicated earlier, they hired their attorneys through the PBA, through their union. They don't call it a PBA, but their union, they hired them attorneys, and then they had to come out of pocket. Out of that $95,000 of that $100,000 settlement this gentleman got was taxpayer money, and the other $5,000 had to be split between the two officers who violated his rights. So at the end of the day, cops can be held accountable
it came out of
civilly,
insurance,
but 9
dumb.
times out of 10, 99% of the time they are indemnified.
That's the one thing that they don't want to talk about.
Municipality.
They don't. They will not fucking talk about that. The exposure report. The exposure report is filled with garbage, nonsense, and lies.
Government officials and our public servants, whether it's locally, on the state level, federally is even worse.
San Juan Valley.
Oh my God.
I didn't know this until recently.
Yeah, that's somebody you should look up to, is San Joaquin Valley. Fuck that.
No, they hate each other.
They still hate each other? I thought they squashed that.
Nope. They still hate each other.
No shit.
San Joaquin Valley hates LIA still.
Wow, I thought that beef was gone a while ago.
Oh no, that shit's still going.
Nice.
Like you know why they hate each other?
Wasn't it over? Weren't they having a discussion or some shit on a live stream, and he didn't fucking agree with what LIA was saying?
It was that, and it was the fact that San Joaquin Valley called LIA out.
Fair.
He called him out. He's like, you do not help out any other auditors. You only care about you. You don't care about the movement. You don't care about the cause. You only care about you. I don't see you out there trying to help out any other young auditors get into the game. You want to be the only one in New York.
Yep. Yeah, he's right though. Like everybody has called him out for that.
They hated each other. He fucking rage quit that. And when he was on DMA's live stream in San Joaquin Valley, showed up.
Yes.
He wouldn't fucking talk. He would just fucking mean mug the camera.
Well, because he's a petulant fucking child. Look at him. He's a child. It's because of the apology letter he wrote. Nikki, nice.
Yeah, he got caught on that too.
Yep.
This is something about LIA I fucking hate. It's his hypocrisy. It's his fucking lies.
Oh, it's huge.
I've never been convicted of any of the things I've been arrested for since I've been auditing. If you took a plea deal, that's a fucking verdict. That's something you took the plea deal saying, yeah, I'll plead guilty or no contest to doing this. You had to pay the fines in Danbury. You had to write the apology letter to Hartford.
Love that apology letter.
You had to do community service. You're about to go to jail.
Yes, he is. And I can't fucking wait.
I'm going to make sure this fucking happens for him to go to jail. So, it's happening.
Yeah. Hey, do it. Do it. Yes.
Do it.
I wonder if I could put my creepy clown nose on you.
LIA, Sean Paul Reyes. You are cursed.
Oh, cursed. Shit.
I will not even for human monies, I will not reverse the curse.
Moist.
Yes. Again.
When I was unlawfully detained by Border Patrol and they went and cut open my suitcase, searched my vehicle, deleted the video from my phone. Thankfully, it was my recently deleted, put me in a jail cell. You cannot sue the federal government under the 1983 civil rights.
But you tried to grift money for
They're not named as a
state actor.
It's not federal actors. So you can file what's called a tort claim, which is, that's for actual damages. Like I could have filed a tort claim for the damage they did to my suitcase, right? But you can't.
And there's fucking Leroy.
It's almost impossible to hold the federal government accountable. So it goes all the way, and you can't. The lack of opportunities we have, and the lack of avenues, I should say.
No one else is attempting to prevent a complete erosion of our constitutional race. For the
misconduct is basically nothing because they have unlimited money because it's our money. It's our money. They have unlimited money. We can just pay out lawsuits because it's our money. And
Insurance companies,
even if the federal government, they print the money, so they literally have unlimited money, and the state governments, they can't print money, but they have a lot of it, especially places like New York, Maryland, all these where there's
I'm pretty sure that's
a lot of money to be able to spare. They factor this in, and they say, well, what it is, and it goes away. The person gets their money, and they move on, and there's never any accountability. If it came out of the law enforcement officers' pockets, law enforcement is supposed to be, right? This is what they tell you, to hold people accountable for their criminal actions, is to enforce the law and the criminal justice system. And again, I'm not
remember, everybody,
go back and
their view, but
hit the like, subscribe, and comment on this live stream.
What was that, Damien?
Go back a few seconds and see if we can pause it when he's doing those crazy eyes. That would make an excellent meme.
They're saying the criminal justice system is supposed to stop people from committing crimes, not only the individual that's being charged with the crime, but it's supposed to serve as a deterrent to society as a whole, to say, hey, you can't do this because this will happen to you the same way it happened to this guy. But in law enforcement, when there's no accountability for the individual officer, that breeds a lack of accountability across the whole department and across the police as a whole. And because they know that, hey, I can do this. Just recently, somebody was charged with a crime for using flock cameras to stalk their girlfriend. And the investigator, the IA investigator who investigated him, was arrested as well for doing the same thing after he did it.
So that means there's accountability, you fucking numbnuts.
It breeds more misconduct, and it's unfortunately, unless we get the right politicians in there,
if you want to see him look like a bridge troll, I got something for you.
In the executive branch.
If you want to see a big banana in his mouth, I got you as well.
I mean, it's really interesting. I want to make this point before we wrap things up, because Sean had one of the first times we saw Sean was when his encounter with Sergeant
Matt
Fahey,
Damon's character from
Connecticut State Trooper. It seemed like his overtime was a little excessive for someone who worked at a desk and then retired with a pension. And I've been doing some digging on it, and it turns out that the couple thousand retired state troopers cost Connecticut taxpayers $110 million a year to fund their pensions. And we started looking at some of the, last couple of years, because the last couple of years is what defines your salary. So what happens is that they start collecting a lot more overtime, and therefore their final average pay goes up, and therefore their final average pension becomes larger and more lucrative. And I think the point is in what you're saying is that, you are really attacking like the crux of the matter, in the sense that this is real dollars. I mean, $110 million a year to fund the pensions for a couple thousand people is really an extreme use of resources in a country that purports not to be able to pay for healthcare for average working citizens. Right? This is real money that keeps getting tossed around. When we looked at the budget for Suffolk County, it was like $1,400 a year for each household to fund police. I mean, think about that. So we are talking about hundreds of millions of billions of dollars being funneled into one organization that represents a very...
Has anyone... Go ahead.
Go for
it. Has anyone seen actual change for the better with all the activism? Or have you seen a buckling down of anti-transparency? No and no, honestly. We've seen more transparency all the time with all the cameras and everything that are fucking out there. We see it all the fucking time. And I
would say this, because of the frauditing movement, it has actually made an erosion of our rights, and it has made it harder for transparency. Because you have the Halo laws going into effect.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
But you could still have transparency with that, though.
I understand that, but the thing is, they're saying, these Halo laws are designed to stop transparency. No, it's designed to stop you morons from interacting on traffic stops.
Yes.
Okay. I can go to JC News now, pull up a video of him interfering with a traffic stop that he has no business on.
Yep.
I can pull up videos from Floyd, from Glenn, Wrights Crispy,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Rogue Nation. I Direct Knee when he was doing the cop watching. Eric Brandt's channel, Auto the Watchdog. Easy
Regan.
Watchdog. Regan.
Chili.
Craig Hendry.
And LIA does it too.
I mean, I can keep naming them. I can keep naming them all day long. And I can pull up at least one video off their channels. Or a video that was covered by somebody showing them interfering.
Very small number of people and hundreds of billions of dollars not going to pay for people's health care or for childcare or for whatever, for education, you name it. So this is not a minor, this is a kind of a crux issue. And I think, Sean, as you point out, these people are really the warriors on behalf of the oligarchy. So yeah, I just want to make that point because that money struck me, $110 million. What could we do with that?
A lot. The Suffolk County Police Department has $1 billion budget. I mean, it's insane that the amount of money that goes into these six-figure pensions for the rest of your life, but yet I might not even get my Social Security one day, but yet they get from
right.
They're going to get six figures for the rest of their life.
For the rest of their life,
more than 6 figures.
I mean, it's and like Suffolk County is like
Sean, you're an idiot.
You know what they do? You know what they do, Stephen? Again, I like the rank and file people of Suffolk County. I do. You know, people are probably get chewed up for that. I like the rank and file officers because I think they're pretty cool guys. But it's the system, the police union, the administration. But what they do is they hide behind firehouses and just sit there all night long and just hang out. That's what they do.
Right. Meanwhile, collecting $100,000 a year.
Right.
Yeah. No,
$200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. That much.
I mean, Suffolk County is like Stony Brook University.
It is about
the
money.
They
want the money. They don't want anybody else to have the money.
$1 billion.
Want the money. They want the power.
Safe.
I wanted to say there have been some really great comments, and unfortunately, I didn't get to ask some of the questions that were on the screen. So I just want to shout out a few people. I see Garden State Accountability, San Joaquin Valley Transparency. Otto the Watchdog is out there. Hey, Otto.
Hey, Otto, how are you?
We see some Leroy Truth. There's a Vigilance Committee. Joe
Leroy.
Cool is out there holding it down in the comment section. I love it. Big Nick South. I saw Rice Krispie. So I just want to make sure, I'm sorry if I didn't get to mention everybody, but the comments are kind of flying by.
I kind of wish I would have fought this live because I would have been in that comment section just going fucking berserk.
Oh, I would have too.
Whether or not they want to know.
It would have been bad.
Do we think that this kind of cop watching, this kind of auditing, this kind of First Amendment activism, do you think it's making a difference? And that was the question. I'm so sorry. The name flew by too fast but I want you to know out there, whoever's in the live chat, that was a great question.
Making a difference by entertaining
Sean, I just want to
us.
ask you, do you think it's making a difference?
I think it's making a difference. I don't think it's making enough of a difference, but I do believe it makes a difference to my wallet. Even in the last 5 years, there's a bunch of, you just named a bunch of people. Like there's so many people that came before me. I've been doing this for 5 years. There's people have been doing this for the last decade, 15 years. And I give them all the respect in the world for starting this. And, I think it's made a huge difference, but not enough of a difference. And I think, law enforcement officers, they won't just grab you and arrest you at a traffic stop anymore. Not as much. Again, not as much. I've noticed that, when I walk into a public building now, most people, they're like, oh, they know what you're doing and everything else. And they treat you with respect and just the basics that should have been happening from day one.
Be there.
They don't want to be, famous online or infamous, I should say, online. So I think all of us together have really accomplished a lot. And I think, my platform is really branching out into actually like investigating at particular mayors, just like Leroy Truth, or others out there who are focused on one person or one organization.
Leroy's name. Leroy
because I feel like over the last 5 years, I've been stretched out, and I feel like I've failed my county. Again, I'm proud born and raised resident of Suffolk County, Long Island, and I feel like I failed my county by not taking this police union head on from the start. I've been all over the place, from California to Hawaii, Florida, and everywhere in between. And I think I need to focus my resources in one area.
Yeah, now
because you're really scared of going to jail.
Legislators, just to make them, even if it's just to make them spend money against me.
Wait. So you're going to run for office?
What?
I'm thinking about running for legislator of Suffolk County. Yeah.
That's news.
Wow. Okay, did we just break news
We
here?
just broke news. But
I mean, listen.
And if he wins, I don't care where I'm at. I don't care how. I don't care if I got a
Ordered
hitchhike
him.
on the back of a turnip truck. I'm gonna be at that person. Councilman, he's gonna be at.
Oh, motherfucker! Me and you, we're going. There is no doubt.
Oh,
I will
yes.
dress
We
up
are
like
going.
him, and I will fucking cross-examine him with my public comment time.
That's it. And DJ, you've got to put on a bald cap and go as Leroy Truth.
Well, I'm already bald, so it's not really not that hard to do. I'm not
Okay,
cutting
we'll
off
just
the
go to a
beard, though.
thrift store
Fuck
and get an
that.
ill-fitting suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get an ill-fitting suit for me. The red tie, the ridiculously big fucking press pass.
Here's what we'll do. We'll order a pizza. We'll get the cardboard box, and we'll just
Yes. And we will fucking live stream it. 100%.
I want him to violate my civil rights so I can sue him.
Yes.
I want him to cut off my mic during my public speaking time when I'm calling him out for his arrests, all the bullshit he's ever done.
Yeah, and that's when DJ walks up and says, "I will give my minutes to him," pointing at you.
And then like act like I'm blowing him or something like that.
No. You get one of those little kid saxophones.
Yes.
Like his little harmonicor.
Yes.
And just we'll go to the Dollar Tree and get one.
Yes.
And just be like,
and just oh god, dude. Like, is it bad that I kind of hope he wins that just so we can go fuck with him?
I know. Caruso.
Caruso, my man.
There have been others in here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all these screenshots, I guaranteed Cicero is grabbing them and they are fucking getting dropped in my Discord right now. Have fun.
Hey Cicero. What was that word you kept saying that live stream? DJ?
Moist.
That one.
My legislator, I looked it up. He won with 8,000 votes. So, I mean,
oh my god,
my
audience of 1 million. You got this.
In the is like 75,000. So 8,000. Get out to vote, people. Come on, vote. Whoever supports the police union support, vote the opposite. I don't care if it's a Democrat or a Republican. Whoever the police union supports, vote for the opposite of that person. Just whatever it is.
Oh my god,
that's a solid platform. That's a solid platform.
We are covering your campaign beginning to end. I also want to. One thing I want to say,
I got the billboard truck already. It's going to be great.
You're already halfway there.
Taya's from Long Island. My family's from Long Island. Several of our other coworkers, we have a very strong Long Island.
We're Long Island contingent. Strong here at the Real News.
So just so you know, we're in solidarity with you on Long Island.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I spent summers in Stony Brook in Suffolk County, so I know how quiet it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question.
Football team.
Last question, you guys, so we can wrap up.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask what you envision for the future of your work and perhaps kind of YouTube auditing in general. Do you think it's going to evolve? Do you think the police are going to push back harder, or where do you think we go from here? Because there are people, I think there's going to be an auditor summit coming up. There are people who still want to get involved, become auditors, become First Amendment activists, become cop watchers. But, there are some challenges there. So what do you see as its future?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the 1A Auditor Summit that's supposed to be held next year. And I think it's important, I kind of got into it already. I think it's evolved to where, one of the things that frustrated me about First Amendment auditing is that there was never any follow-up. And I think that's what I would see somebody's rights get violated, and then I would never know what happened after that.
You saw there was a chance to make money.
I would never see exactly the complaint. We all know that they're going to investigate themselves and find out what we're doing, but take that
garden
step. It's important to show that's part of the story. It's important to show that you are filing a complaint with Internal Affairs, who's supposed to be an independent part of the police department, which they're not. And it is important to show that they're going to unsubstantiated. When your own eyes tell you exactly what happened, they will lie to you straight to your face. And I think it's important for follow-up. And I think more and more, I'm starting to investigate more into like an investigative journalism kind of phase where, I'm looking at the numbers and looking at the papers. I'm talking to informants, sources, that are giving. I just got off the phone with a former law enforcement officer right before I almost was late because I was talking to a former law enforcement officer giving me all this information. And it's important to evolve what you're doing and to be passionate about it. And I think that, moving forward, I think, people like Libra Truth, there are so many others out there that have really changed when it comes to actually focusing on particular issues and really digging into those issues, because recording in public spaces is very important. Recording law enforcement or traffic stops is very important because it shows you what happens when, power is challenged in any little way. These people with their ego, when you challenge their ego. I was arrested by Lucivilla because I said you're such a tough guy.
You interrupting.
Let's be real. Not because I broke the law.
Doing their
because
business.
I went there asking questions about how his
bad shit happens to cops all the time. They are attacked, they are knifed, they're shot at all the fucking time.
Imagine
you are
see those people,
grifter and a liar. Fuck you, Sean.
Law enforcement officers who can't control their emotions. If they're doing it to me, if that man, Lou Civillo, the police union president, is willing to do that to me, somebody with over 2 million subscribers across social media, hundreds of millions of views, what do you think he's doing to John Smith down the street with no family, no money?
Exactly.
They run them through the system. The process is the punishment. The difference is that what law enforcement hasn't figured out yet is that the process isn't the punishment when it comes to people like me, because the process,
you
thinking of not being punished. I'm not, because I have a bunch of supporters that help me out with legal bills.
For this,
I have a bunch of supporters that will write letters. So the process isn't the punishment for me, but they're so ingrained in that kind of the way of thinking that, this might not hold up in court. It's probably not going to hold up in court, but he gets to sit in jail for 7 hours. He has to pay a lawyer. He's going to end up taking a deal anyway. And at the end of the day, if it all goes to shit, we can, it's going to get paid by his money anyway, taxpayer money. It's not going to affect me in any way. I'm not going to be held accountable. So,
Stephen, let me ask you, what do you see as the future? I mean, you worked on that documentary, I Am But the Mirror.
Yeah.
You should know a little bit about cop watching by now.
Well, first thing I want to say is my editor-in-chief, Max, is in my ear, and he's telling me that this truck is on order for our billboard truck. So, yes, I've been informed. I wanted to break that news that we will have the Tay and Stephen billboard truck in operation shortly.
They bitch and complain about billionaires spending their money,
creativity
but they won't say anything to Sean about buying this.
Journalists, we have a little high priest sort of feeling about us. Bureaucratic. We can be a little bureaucratic and a little full of ourselves. Yep. And people like Sean come in and say, well, I've got a whole new way of approaching this, billboard truck included. And I think that creativity is what flows from cop watchers, because, they went out as Sean, and they're evolving, right? Sean says, I used to first film cops. Now I'm investigating overtime and going through public records and making record requests and following up. It's like we're watching a whole new sort of journalism emerge. And I think what's great about cop watchers is they challenge the orthodoxy of what we do, which has a lot of orthodoxy in it and a lot of assumptions we make about the aesthetics of it, how it should be done. And Sean says, no, I'm going to do it this way. And actually, it's really effective and kind of very similar to what we do, but it kind of gives us a new way of looking at it. I mean, I have learned a tremendous amount from the cop watching auditing community as a journalist myself, who's came from a very conventional background. I worked for a newspaper, if anyone knows what that is. I'm not sure if people are familiar with them, but they used to be delivered in your mailbox. And so I myself have said, wow, that's a really cool way of approaching this. Or wow, I never thought of that. Or just exposing things like now that I'm looking into the Connecticut state pension system, thanks primarily to Sean and his encounter and what happened with Sergeant Page. So I think it's a great way, a catalyst for journalism to change and evolve and adopt to an audience where audiences are, which is on YouTube and Instagram and places where Sean is quite popular. So it's a good thing for all of us. I'm looking forward to driving that truck.
Stephen, that's such a great point. I mean, in a way, you're kind of making me think that it's not as much about, the future of cop watchers, but our journalists going to become more like cop watchers. Are we going to become, more independent, more creative, more untethered from institutions, which, can be controlling? We're very fortunate as independent journalists that work for a nonprofit org.
I am
to
the
let
ID.
you know, if we get 5 views on this or 5 million views on this, we don't get a single nickel more. We're a nonprofit org. We don't run any ads on our channel. So literally we can report on what we want. So we are so lucky to be independent in that way. And I think cop watchers and the power that they show,
you can still say whatever the fuck you
basically
want.
A regular person.
This has been going on for like an hour and 21 minutes.
Holy shit.
And they're still
just sucking him off.
Like another almost 10 minutes.
Yeah.
16 minutes. Do you guys want to keep going with this, or do you want to just jump to the last bit of the glazing? Because
just jump.
Yeah, just jump it. I can't stand any more these two blowing him.
it looks like they're just going to.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually do have that documentary he's talking about, and I'm going to watch it, and I might fucking go over it.
It's quite a shot.
That's pretty cool.
Sean Paul, we have to thank you so much for your time. We took up more of it than we should have. So I apologize
Thank
for
you so
that.
much.
We really appreciate you so much, your work, your willingness to speak about it, and your very singular insights into government accountability. And we look forward to speaking to you again soon and going to Washington, D.C. with you.
Love it. Can't wait.
All right.
Go to Washington, D.C. with him?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You as well. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Okay, Stephen.
Yeah.
Okay, Steven,
That's very
I just need to
horrible.
wipe myself.
That's a horrible false face to land on, or somebody was taking a screenshot.
It's already been done. I guarantee it.
For
My name
for
is
you,
Jeff.
Anthony. My name Jeff. My name Jeff.
Literally, like, it's like these two fuckers work at Krispy Kreme the way they glaze this motherfucker.
Now, I'm going to end the poll.
Giggity.
Yeah.
Out of 59. Oh my God, I want that so fucking much.
Oh, shit. Yes.
Yeah, man. You come up to the land down under and you come challenge the Greek Adonis. That is Guido Hatsis.
That would be amazing.
I will roundhouse kick you into oblivion, Skippy the kangaroo boy.
Oh, my God.
Not even the sticky tip can fix you. Do not laugh, my friend, because I'm going to have to roundhouse kick him so hard that even the skin pit chicks are going to be like, Guido, that's too much, but we'll still throw ourselves at your nudity.
You do that way too well.
But after 59 votes, 29% of the people said yes, this was going to be a fair and balanced by the Real News Now. 71 said no.
Those 71 were correct.
And those 29 were trolls.
Or they didn't know what the yes and no part meant before they fucking made their vote.
All right. So, seeing as you guys were here from the start,
Yep.
and while we're here, I wonder if I can. Yeah, Anthony.
Jesus Christ.
Look at the looks maxing they did to him.
Just, oh my, it's so fucking bad. Like, literally, they have him in the background of that picture and they do this fucking picture. This literally, I'm going to throw out a deep fucking thing here. If anybody out there has ever seen the show Grimm, he looks like if Nick and Monroe had a love child. If you get that, bless you.
I do.
Am I wrong?
He does look a lot like Monroe. He just hasn't looked out yet.
Yeah.
I should say Volked. He hasn't Volked yet.
Volked.
But, okay. Looks maxed.
Fucking Anthony.
Actuality. So, expectations.
Reality.
When you order off Temu.
Reality.
I use potty like a big boy.
Oh, yeah. You can't show that right now, can you?
No,
I sent you? Okay.
Not right
Yeah,
now.
we definitely need to
Nikki.
save that. We need to save that, though.
He He went from Hispanic to Indian.
All right.
That is that's just such bad. It's so dishonest, man. It's just so fucking dishonest.
Let's get our final thoughts in.
Oh, this should be good.
I'm gonna start with you, DJ.
They blew him so hard that it's literally like the scene from the first Scary Movie where the dude's like, he basically melted into himself because he released all the fluid. That's basically what it is. They didn't challenge on anything like they said they were going to. They didn't, like give him the hard hitting questions. No, they're like, yes, Sean, you're right. Like fucking seals.
Let me ridiculous. You with my friend here.
It is so dishonest, so fucking gross. They cannot call themselves true journalists. No, fuck that noise.
Damien, your thoughts?
He came, he saw, he came.
That's fair.
I'm going to put it this way. I said this was going to be an ass kissing session. I misquoted it. This was beyond ass kissing. This was you went to Las Vegas and you paid that high end call girl like the diamond card. You gave her your black card and said it has an unlimited balance. Just bill me for everything.
That's actually, damn, that's actually really good.
I mean, they call this a debate. It's not a debate. It was a Q&A. They didn't ask him any hard-hitting questions. They coddled him. They kissed up to him. They are not journalists. They could not set aside their bias to ask actual questions.
Yeah, I've seen harder hitting questions on Dora the Explorer.
The Wiggles were better journalists than those two.
Yep.
Because at least the Wiggles, they taught us about the color blue. And why we should wash our hands before we eat.
That's very, very, very fair, sir.
So on that note, folks, we're going to end it.
I did pop something in the chat.
You did. Yeah, Hunter NY. Yeah, 2 cops, 1 donut was worse with the softball questions. Crusoe, I get that. I get that reference. You're not wrong, Nicky Red. You are not wrong. What the fuck is this?
Well, folks, we're going to end it. Damien, I want to thank you for joining me yet again.
Mm-hmm.
DJ,
always
thank you as always for joining me as well.
Always, sir.
If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to DJ's main channel, DJ Dark Lantern. Sister posted a link there, and she also posted a link to his Discord.
Make sure you subscribe for all your horror movie news.
Well, that would be the Last Chance Review and the NCR Movie Network when we do our podcast, the DNN Cinema Vault, which we're working on the next one. We got to figure out what we're going to talk about. If we might have a special guest with us.
Oh, dude. Oh, thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
Great stream. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
my
right,
God.
all right, folks. So we will see you all next time.